What's going on, everybody? Happy Saturday to you all. Hope you're doing well. It is one of those days. Let's see how we're looking. Not too bad. We got looks like mostly cloudy. So I mean, the sun may try to peek through on the East Coast area in New York specifically. It's right now currently 82 degrees, going up to a high of 85. That's not that bad. Humidity is around 60% though. It is what it is. It's New York. But yeah, we're here rocking and rolling, man. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. Once again, happy Saturday to all of y'all. It was obviously a pleasant surprise. Excuse me. Yesterday when I found out that the Knicks will be playing a 5th Summer League game today. So once again, if you guys aren't already aware, tonight at 6 p.m. on ESPN, the Knicks are playing the Atlanta Hawks for their 5th Summer League game. Now, I don't know if they qualified for anything else, but because they were able to finish 2-2, they qualified to get a 5th game. And I actually heard that if you were watching the Summer League game yesterday, I believe Tyler Kolek or someone was talking to someone else, and they had mentioned it. Like if we get this game, we go 2-2, and then we get another one. I think that's what was said, if I recall. But yeah, so listen. Any chance that we have for a little bit more Knick basketball, and obviously a little bit more time for these young players to get exposed to playing, in an organized fashion on a little bit of a bigger stage. They're not in the NBA yet, but it's still nice to have that, and it's been pretty fun and exciting. You know what I mean? Like, that's the good thing about the Summer League. It's not so much about whether or not we win or lose. It's all about just being able to watch these young players play and see what they have to offer, and the fact that they can extend that one game at least and get another appearance out there is great. So I'm definitely excited for that. So shout out to everybody. Thank you to everybody tuned in. On YouTube, on Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. We back, baby. Salute to y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate everybody. Yeah, because last week, if you guys know, I could not stream the show on X because they've changed their guidelines and policies, and it's no longer just a free situation. Now it's a paid situation. So we had to take care of that so that we can get back up and streaming on X. All right. Let me shout out to the chat. See who is rocking and rolling. Appreciate you guys for being patient. Shout out to my guy Walter Blackman in the building. Salute, Walter. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Hope your family's doing well. Good to see you as always. Ivory 10 is in the building. Salute, Ivory. What's going on, my brother? Hope you're doing well. He said, salute Ron and Knicks fam. If Deuce is a trade chip now with Cam, his fit with a big point guard who can guard twos would be ideal. Charlotte seems like a good fit. I see what you're saying. I see what you are saying. Yeah, I mean, if the Knicks are going to make a move, Charlotte is a team that you want to consider because they do have some pieces. Well, at least one piece that the Knicks would covet that they're interested in. Well, they probably got two, but they're not going to get rid of the other one. So yeah, I mean that's and maybe that's a franchise that the Knicks can trade with and not have to worry about giving too much to get back the return that they're looking for. You know, there's obviously we already talked about Utah and Danny Ainge and how stringent he is with regards to trading with the Knicks. So or any team, but definitely with the Knicks. So yeah, I mean that's definitely a consideration, Ivory. I'm with you on that. If they're gonna do it. Shout out to my guy 713 Gamer in the building, a member of Still Knick Fans. You too can be a member of Still Knick Fans. If you just look at your screen and hit that join button, you also will be able to become a member. And you know, we're still working on new things to incorporate for members. As the membership base grows, we will do certain things that are specific to just Still Knick Fans members. You know, if you're a part of the SKF Army, you will get specialized programming and other content that won't be for everybody else. We're just not there yet. I'm still trying to build up the Army. But when we get there, you know, you guys will start to hear about it. And you know the ones who are members will benefit from that. But I appreciate everyone. Thank you, and obviously to new people, this doesn't mean you have to be a member to enjoy being able to chop it up here with Still Knick Fans, whether it be on Saturdays for Know the Ledge or Mondays for SKF Weekly. We'll still be chopping it up. It's just that we're gonna expand and do some special programming for those who are members. But yeah, man, thank you. He says, hit that like button when you get here. Facts. Hit that like button right now, guys. You just walked in. Hit it now before we go any further. Fligga D, what's going on? JJ's in the building. Salute. What's good, my brother? He says, salute, Ron. Happy Saturday, brother. Scap is impressing me, but we got to also realize he's 26 years old, playing versus mostly 19-year-olds. So let's be careful calling him the backup center. I think that's so. Here's the thing. I agree with you. And I think the Knicks already know that. See, we're looking at it as fans. This is the Summer League. This is all we got to go on. The Knicks already know everything they need to know about Skapinski or Skapintsiev. Ooh, I think I finally got it right, y'all. Skapintsiev. I think that's it. Oh snap! I think they already know everything they need to know about the young fella. He's talented. He's got some good offensive talent. He could be a solid rebounder. I don't know about on the defensive end though. You know, notice like if you look at the Summer League highlights, we're not looking at a lot of defensive stuff. We're looking at the offensive stuff. Him being able to have a floor game in the paint and also be able to knock down a mid-range jumper. We know he can hit an occasional three. So you know, that's the thing. Is that enough for the Knicks to put him on the roster? I don't know. But yeah, I hear you, JJ. Ivory 10 also said in Summer League, I saw only one guy who could run the offense, play with Deuce, Brunson, and DiVincenzo and not be a defensive liability, and that's Rokas. He's not going to get a spot, but he got game. Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying, Ivory. It's an interesting problem to have for these New York Knicks. I don't know. It's tough because this Summer League defense, right? It's I don't know, man. I don't know. So it's tough to gauge, right? There's been plays where you see a guy like Tyler Kolek play some solid defense, but then there's other plays where you see him gamble a little bit. You know, he'll hedge. And then his closeout, like I think he plays a certain way, right? But he also plays according to what he thinks he has behind him. And so I don't think he has a lot behind him right now in the summer league. Huck Porty has been good. He's been solid, but a lot of, I don't know. I'm questioning a lot of other stuff that I see with some of the defense from the interior. So yeah, I mean, but I think that in that case, when your defense is a little suspect as a team, your closeouts have to be different. You can't like Matador, like Ole. So like there was a play yesterday where Kolek ran out to the player, but he didn't run out to stop him. He ran out to make the player make a move, right? Rather than giving up the open three. But when the player left Kolek and got to the basket, he was like unimpeded and got a quick, easy layup, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, like it works. I mean, if you rather like try to, scare the guy into taking a 2-point shot rather than getting that open three. But, when your defense is a little suspect on the interior, it's probably not the best way to approach it. So, yeah. But let me tell you, I've been saying for a minute that I like Rokas. I like his defense. I think the Knicks are in a real weird situation right now because it's like timing. You know what I mean? Like the Knicks are ready to go. And we've got enough players that are talented enough to get us there. And then we just got more young guys now that are presenting themselves at a time where we don't really like we could use them in spurts, but we don't really need them like that. Like I say Kolek is a very smart, heady basketball player that has some tools that the Knicks are missing, right? But it's also about playing time. And the Knicks got a lot of guys that deserve playing time already and have earned it. So how do you fit Kolek in? Right. And the same thing goes with Rokas. Like Rokas wasn't even on the radar. And he is making himself on the radar because he's got skills and he's got good size. I don't know what the Knicks are going to do. All I know with regards to Rokas is they need to make a move now. Like now, I mean, this year, they need to either put this guy on the roster, talk to his people, talk to him and say, look, this is what it is. Do you want to be here or not? And understand that you ain't going to really play this year. Are you cool with that? If we need you, can we count on you? Or if that don't work for you, we got to move you. That's what I want them to do. I don't want to be dilly-dallying around with Rokas. He's a good player. It's either we could use him now in spurts or we can't use him and we get something for his value because that Rokas looks like a good player. I don't know. Just saying, you might as well try to get something for him, even if it's something down the line, even if we can't, because we don't have a lot of spots available for usage right now. Maybe we can't get a player for Rokas. Maybe we don't want a player for Rokas. Maybe we want picks. You know what I mean? Just a thought. Joey Rip 'em Up Sports is in the building. G League, get ready for the dynamic duo. I hear you, man. I think, honestly, man, if it wasn't, it's like it sucks because it's just bad timing, right? This is bad timing as a Knicks fan. It's great timing as a Knicks fan because we are good, guys. We got a good squad that should be a championship contender. We are on the road, but I'd be lying if I don't feel a little cheated. Just to have fun, you know what I mean? Not about like, this is the team I want. I want to be able to see the Knicks go for a championship. And this is the team that they built, I believe, gives us a good chance to do it. We still have to address that center position. But other than that, I think we are good, right? But I'd be lying if I told you. I mean, I've seen a lot of Knicks basketball, so I've seen the bad years. I'd be lying if I told you I wouldn't have loved to see Rokas and Kolek running the show at point guard and shooting guard for this Knicks team. I would love to see them two running the show. I think that would be fun. But not now because we're ready for something else. And we got Jalen Brunson. Let's not get it twisted. I'm just telling you, like if we had Rokas and Kolek in the Clee Anthony early days, like with that team where there was no real superstar guys and you could just get busy, that would be fun to watch. But it is what it is, y'all. Ivy 10 says, I think we need a starting caliber C. As a backup, it can't be unknown that Scap it can't be an unknown like Scap, in my opinion. I think they can survive by re-signing Precious, but I think they need another big even if they re-sign Precious. I hear you on that. Shout out to Knicks 100 in the building. What up? Appreciate you, bro. He says, "Sup, niggas?" I hope I said that right, so that y'all. What? I didn't say anything. YouTube. My bad. mm-hmm. Okay. Shout out to Margaret Edwards in the building. What up, Margaret? Good to see you. It is about developing. Knicks coaches need to be better at job developing. Then they would not be searching for a center. Sims deserves a chance. Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you, I think this is Sims's last chance. This is the last year. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this might be the last year of his contract. I'm not sure, but I think so. Yeah, he's gonna get some type of chance, and we can start the show now because Margaret's here. Let's go. What's going on, Margaret? Appreciate you. Shout out to David Smith in the building. David, hope you're doing well. Good to see you as always. Says salute Ron in the chat. Appreciate you. Walter says, I believe Capela will be a good addition to our team. He's reliable. Yeah, I've always liked Capela. He's nothing like super fancy. Like, you know exactly what you're getting in the box. You know what I mean? But what he's giving you works, and he's a lot more, like you said, reliable. He's healthier than Mitch is generally. So something to think about. Something to think about. Sang Freud 929 in the building said, "Good morning, chat. We needed Sims in summer games just to see where he's at." I thought so too, but I guess they didn't want to do it. I mean, this is like his third year in the league, I think. 3 or 4? 3. I think it's 3. Whatever. Either way, they didn't want to do it. So, hey, Glamour Nick's in the building. What's going on? Salute to you. Hope you're doing well. Said, hey, Ron. Kerry Cox is in the building. What's going on? He says, salute. All right. Corey Lee, what's going on? One half of the 718 boys on the Lawrence Tears Network Sundays at 10 a.m. Shout out to you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. David Smith says, still no moves by the Knicks to address the huge void at center left by Hartenstein. Hey, man, don't worry, bro. Last time I checked, the preseason don't start until October. We are in July. We all right. Hold off. Because a lot of this, this talk about stuff it's all been circling around the Knicks making a trade, right? So they can make a trade when they see fit. If they were trying to go after a free agent, that's different. So we'll see what happens. Shout out to Bricks Nation in the building. Says salute Ron, salute my diehards in the chat. What's good, Bricks? Rome Fall Rock in the building. Welcome to my world, LO, Tampa, Florida. What's going on, Rome? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope that weather is treating you okay. Let me take another sip of my congestion drink here. This little iced coffee doing me over right here. I got the s'mores flavor today, folks. Yeah, foofy, pinky in the air. Let's go. Let's go. I feel energized and juiced up with that coffee. Let's go. And congested. Did I miss? Oh, no. Yep. Here we go. Room for rock. Yep. Hey, L, damn it, in the building. Pew, pew. What's going on, L? Appreciate you. Hope you are doing well. Shout out to Double A in the building. He says, Ron, the Don, bringing the best in NYK chat. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for being here and rocking with me, Double A, as always, bro. Hope you're doing well. Right there. Listen to L, who is also a member of Still Knick Fans, the SKF Army. Once again, all you got to do is hit that join button on your screen to join New York, the New York's best place to find New York Knick content. That's right, Still Knick Fans. We here, baby. Know the Ledge on Saturdays and SKF Weekly on Monday nights. So she said, smash that like button. Show some love for the show, please. I appreciate you, L, as always. Yep. Pew pew. I mean, she comes gun blazing. Pew pew. Walter says Kolek is a true point guard. Yeah, he definitely is. I mean, he can't front. I mean, listen, he's a pass first guard. So I appreciate that about his game. Shout out to my guy, Dat Franco, in the building. What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you as always. I appreciate you, man. Animal Lex is in the building. What's good, Animal? Hope you're doing well. So salute everyone. Nick Yak is here. What's going on, Nick? Said Ron, the 2 rookie centers shooting after 4 40-minute games, 29 of 40 and 40 rebounds, 10 assists is fine for backup is why Leon made no moves. Like I said, whether they make a move or not, I think the Knicks are good. And I think they know that, you know, if need be, they got a situation where they could go by committee, right? I don't think they want to rely on it. And that's the only thing. Like, as you get into the playoffs, that young backup by committee stuff don't really work. You could get through the regular season with it. And obviously, you know, players get better as the season goes along. But the Knicks ain't trying to really take chances, right? Because like I said before, you know, with regards to Mitchell Robinson, if Mitchell Robinson goes down for whatever reason, if he does, he doesn't have to, but if he does, we in trouble. If we rocking with a center by committee as the backups. It can work as long as Mitchell Robinson's healthy. But if he's not healthy, could be a little dicey. Just saying. Jiggerman Porto in the building. What's going on? Positively Porto is here, folks. Let me just say once again, guys, if I haven't said this enough, please, man, please tune in to Positively Porto in the mornings, 9 a.m., Monday through Friday. If you just need something to make you smile, right? I'm just telling you, if you're having a bad day, you can go there. It's a safe place. You got a bunch of like-minded people that also may be down or even happy about stuff that just want to come to a place and hear positive stuff, not a bunch of negative stuff that we have to deal with in our day-to-day lives. You know what I mean? And this country and the news and all this stuff that's going on. It's a whole bunch of negativity. So why not go to a place, at least for an hour, where you can think something good about yourself and about the day and about what you have in store for yourself, rather than all this negativity. So please go support Positively Portal, my guy Jigga Man. And also you can go support Morning Brew Sports and, you know, the Morning Brew Network, all of the good stuff with my guy Heck, the whole shebang. Phil, Eddie, man, I can't name all the contributors though, because you know the Morning Brew Sports Network is, you know what I mean? But salute and shout out to everybody. All right, D Block in the building, man. You know what I mean? I think the other day, was it 2 weeks ago? It was like the anniversary of that versus battle between Dipset and the Locks. It's like such a moment. And the crazy thing about it is if you watch it today, you can enjoy it and appreciate it, but it's not the same. Like when it happened, when you was outside, like when you watched it, when it happened, that feeling of watching what you was watching and knowing that Dipset was like throwing out some hits and stuff, but the Locks were crushing. Like Jadakiss was on a mission. It just, man, what a moment. Yeah, love it. All right. Shout out to Danny Thomas in the building. Salute. Checking in from the Bay Area. Salute. Hope you're doing well. Hope things are going good for you out there. A lot of wild stuff happening in the Bay these days with the whole, stuff about laws and bills, and a lot of people is getting a little upset over there. So I hope you're doing well. Hope things are doing good for you. Hope the weather is treating you all good. I haven't heard too much. I'm not in the news about it, but I hope there's no none of those forest fires and stuff that be happening, because that happens so much out there in California and the Bay. So I hope all that stuff is good. Those brush fires and stuff. But yeah, salute to you and your family. Hope everybody's fine. My guy, Sha Powers in the building. Salute, Sha. What's good? I hope you're doing well. Hope everything's treating you good, man. One half of the Knicks Real Talk crew. My guy, Divine. Good show you guys did the other day, man. I keep, unfortunately, man, I've been, doing different things and like I'll be, have work or whatever's going on. So I don't catch the show right at the beginning, but from what I did catch, it was a good show and appreciate you guys, man. Knicks Real Talk on YouTube. Please go support these guys, man. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications, right? And make sure if you do subscribe to the channel, everybody, please hit the bell for all notifications. That way you get notified anytime Still Knick Fans has any content that is going to be popping up on YouTube. Thank you. Appreciate you. As always, L. American man in the building. Let's go Knicks all day. Salute. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. What? Interesting. I don't know about that, Knicks 100. Man, I don't think that's the first thing on their list, but I see what you're trying to say. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see if the investment works out. If the investment is good and he does what he's been doing, remember, he's 26 years old. Oh, well, sorry. He just had a birthday, so he just turned 27. I just saw that. So, yeah, but either way, still 27 years old. So, Knicks got him at a good time. Shout out to my guy, Walter Blackman in the building for the generous super chat, man. I appreciate you, Walter. Thank you. Hope everything is going good for you today. I know, Saturdays, I think you said you're off. So, hopefully you're at home enjoying the show. Okay. All right. Good to see you. My guy, King Ribby in the building. What up, King Ribby? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Says salute, Ron, the chat. Like and subscribe, share for the OG. Facts. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. My guy, Parrish Duggan in the building. What up, Parrish? Good to see you, bro. He said Huck Porty looks identical to year 1 to 3 young Randall. I think there's some bits and pieces of his game that I could see that being the case. So, because I was looking at him yesterday, and you know what I mean? What kept popping in my head was Sherwin saying that I don't want to do that because I'm not trying to throw Sherwin under the bus. But Sherwin says that his game kind of reminds him of David Robinson. I don't see it personally, Sherwin. But what I will say is if you talk about young Randall, as far as just the way he moves out there, I could see a little of that. Now, young Randall was super athletic, though, right? Super athletic and very powerful, like quick, powerful. Huck Porty has some of that, but I don't know if he's got the same level of power that Randall had, and he definitely didn't have the same level of athleticism. But I like he's got some good athleticism. It's just listen, let me tell y'all, man. People forget Randall can't jump as good as he did because he had the injury, right? And then now he's older, so as you get older in the league, some of that flexibility with athleticism starts to deteriorate a little bit. He can still dunk, but it's not the way he was when he was coming out of college. Woo. That was different. Shout out to Jay Singh in the building. Salute. What's going on, Jay? Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. NYC B-Ball 08 in the building. Salute. What's good? Appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with us. Double A thinks we should move the excess for Steven Adams, a perfect backup and a much-needed enforcer. Yeah. I guess the only thing I worry about with Steven Adams is you're taking a real chance on a guy who just came back from a season-ending injury, should I say, with having a guy whose injury, has injury concerns as well with Mitch. So, it's just a little scary for me, man, because both of them dudes could be out. You never know. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. You get Steven Adams and Mitchell Robinson on the same team, there's no offensive rebounds for anybody else. We're talking about two guys who have been 1 and 2 in offensive rebounds in the NBA for the past few years. So imagine having two of those guys on the same team. That's kind of crazy. I mean, offensive rebounds is gobbled up. It's like Pac-Man. They're all ours. But, yeah, I don't know. Something they got to think about. Yo, they don't trigger you? Good. They triggered me. Shout out to Clee Anthony early. And I see what you did there too. Trigger, Clee Anthony, shot. Oh, maybe you weren't saying that, but it works. Miguel P in the building. Salute. What's good, Miguel P? Ron, and the salute to the chat. Yes. Appreciate you, Miguel P. Yes, yes. L said, pressing the heart in the chat is free 99. Press stuff for the show. And for Ron, smash the like button. Yes. Thank you, L. Appreciate you. Shout out to my guy. What up, twin? Kareem Grant in the building. So salute, Ron. Good afternoon to you and the chat. Good to see you, bro. Hope you and the family's doing well. Like I said, man, it's been too long. We have not chopped it up in person in a minute. I hope there's a time in the near future that we can do that again. And it's good. It would be good to see you. I was just looking at some pictures of us chilling at the draft party for NBK in Atlantic City the other day. So yeah, man. Hope you're doing well, bro. Shout out to Billy Goat in the building. Salute. What's going on, Billy? Appreciate you. He says, salute. Hit that like. Yes. Yeah, y'all, please hit that like button, man. This is the time to do it. If you haven't already hit it, take a time right now to hit the like button. Don't worry. You won't miss anything. You can still hear my voice. Yeah. And listen, I know some of y'all may not know what it looked like. It looked a little something like this. Please smash that like button. All right. Okay. My guy, Louisiana Knicks, is in the building. What up, Louisiana? Appreciate you. Said, salute, Ron. Do you think Kolek gets in the rotation next season? Yes, but more of a situational base, right? Because I still think if Deuce is on this team, Deuce is going to get whatever minutes they can give him, and Kolek will be like a change of pace. They'll use Kolek like sparingly, depending on what's going on with the team, right? They'll give him a couple minutes here, like a few, Tibbs minutes be like 1, 2, 3 minutes. Like they might give him a little time here and there, but they're going to play it out. They're going to see how everything works out. And I do think that Kolek, and if Rokas is on this team somehow, I don't know how, but if he is, they're going to send these guys to the G League and let them cook and get some seasoning to stay fresh. They'll be going back and forth with them the way they did with Deuce, because Deuce wasn't on the two-way at one point, yet they still sent them to the G League to remain fresh and active, to be ready if they needed them. So I think they're going to do that too, especially with Kolek. With Rokas, it may be a little bit more difficult because listen, it is a little bit more difficult with Rokas because he is a professional basketball player, guys. I mean, he plays for one of the best leagues in the world. It's not the NBA, but you know what I mean. And he gets paid, to play. So he's been a professional for a few years now. So I don't know how the G League looks for him if he would want to go there. So I don't know, man. Nick's got some decisions to make. Let me see here. So Shah says, oh, wait, first off, Kerry Cox says Jericho Sims will show significant improvement this season. I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. Shah says JB, Bridges, OG, Randall, Clint, Devo, Josh Hart, Mitch, Deuce, Payne. Not a bad 10, man. Yeah. Interesting that you put Clint's name before Mitch. So you would say, are you saying that Clint Capela will be the starter over Mitch, or you just how you wrote it? Hey, Staten Island in the house. Let's go. Glamour Nick says Knicks fans need to understand our front office is as tight as skinny jeans after Thanksgiving dinner. Speculating on who should be our backup center won't end well. Save yourself the heartache, LOL, and trust them. Yeah, I think you may be right. It's a lot of speculation. I mean, I don't know. It keeps them going though. Gives them what they want. Bricks Nation says, stick to the Moriciñandos, Ron. It's a healthy drink, unlike them sweet iced coffees. You know what? You're right. I just need, it's the caffeine too. I mean, it's not high levels of caffeine because Dunkin' Donuts, this is like kind of light compared to others, but I just need a little caffeine in my system. And the problem is I don't drink the other caffeinated drinks, you know, and I don't drink no Red Bulls and no energy drinks like that because it's just too much caffeine for me. So I just need, I try to find my happy balance, and this works. But you're right. You're right. I need to cut this out altogether and just drink water. You know what I mean? Eat my vitamins, eat healthy, maybe do a little exercise and drink water. That's what I should be doing. We're getting there, man. Slowly, really slowly. Ed Winning in the building. What's going on? Salute. Good to see you, man. Haven't seen you in the chat in a little while. Good to see you. Hey, my guy, Hard Will in the building for the love of the game. That's right, the number 4, OUR, love of the game. Please show him some love. Check him out on YouTube, man. What's going on, brother? Yeah, you did. Listen, Kolek is special. I like it. I like his game. He's a good one. I like it. I don't know how they're gonna make it work, but I like it. We'll see. Kerry Cox says Kolek needs to improve his strength and ball handling. I don't know. I'm not sure. I got to watch more of Kolek's game on the next level to kind of see where his deficiencies lie. Because I can always look at what he did in college, but it's different against college players, right? So I want to see how he does stack up. Like preseason basketball would be nice to see with him, to see how he plays against like higher competition and what's lacking in his game, right? Handling, I don't know. I mean, I guess he could be a little loosey goosey with the ball sometimes, but I also think he does have a good ball handle because I mean, you've seen he can put the ball between his legs behind his back and cut to the rim. Like I seen him cross somebody over like that. You saw that play he made yesterday. And he has some little tricky stuff that he does with the ball. I don't really see too many players doing a lot of that, especially point guards. What he does sometimes to free himself and get around space, he'll flip the ball ahead of himself. So he'll roll it ahead of himself and he'll move quickly to get back to the ball. And then he'll make a move off of that. Either it's going to be a shot or he's going to figure out a way to make a pass, which yesterday he made an incredible pass because he did that. He did the little cross. He headed to the rim and then he flipped the ball ahead of himself. He ran to catch the ball and then jumped up, turned around in the air, and threw it to the corner for Dwayne Washington. Dwayne Washington knocked down the 3. Like that was a crazy play. That looked fantastic, but it's also about the foresight of, I know I'm about to do something right here because I'm throwing the ball ahead of myself. I got to make sure I get there, or then it's a stupid turnover. You know what I mean? Like you don't take these chances unless you know you're going to do it. So now we'll see how many of those type of chances he can take in a regular NBA game with a regular NBA team. That might not have worked because it might have been too congested there. But then again, maybe he wouldn't have thrown it. It looks interesting, man. This kid he's flashy, he's special. I like him. I like him. Okay. Let me see. Long Island Sound in the building. And I like what you're saying. Yo, 2024-25 NBA champs. I like it. Kerry said, Dwayne Washington Jr. got me screaming at my TV. Yeah, man. Listen, I will say one thing about Dwayne Washington Jr. That young man can score. He can score. There's no taking that away from him. That dude can drop buckets. Problem is he ain't never seen a shot that he don't like. That man is out there. He is a street baller for real. Let me get that rock, yo. So it would be nice to see him play somewhere. I think he deserves an opportunity. Not with the Knicks, because we don't really need him. And you know, I don't think it fits his game to be stagnant. You know what I mean? I don't think you want to put. He's not a pass first point guard. He's not a great facilitator, but he can score. So I would think he deserves a shot on a team that needs somebody to give them instant offense. He's perfect, man. He's like a microwave. He's like old school fans know Vinny the Microwave Johnson from the old Detroit Pistons days. He is a microwave, man. He can score. I'm not going to take that away from him because I'll be surprised looking at him each summer league game. I mean, he had one summer league game that his shot took a little while to get there. It was a little slow, but he be coming out the gate firing and knocking it down. So I gotta show that guy some credit. He shoots too much, but we know what's going on. He's trying to get a job. Shout out to Chef NYK. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. So what's good? Salute, Ron. Hated the Bulls growing up, but I see Kolek as a young Steve Kerr. Stacked team. He never averaged more than 6 points per game, but he helped win them chips. Help them win chips. Yep. I agree. I hear you. And Kolek is the type of player that he can be a knockdown shooter in the league. Like, not give him a wide open three, he can knock it down. In the summer league, his shot has been a little because he's not taking a lot of reps. But we've seen how it looks in practice. He's seen the form, you've seen the fluidity, you've seen the repetition. A guy like that, can knock it down. Let me tell you something. If we didn't have Jalen Brunson and Kolek had the ball in his hands all the time, that kid would average 15 to 20 points easy. He can knock it down. But the point is, we do have Jalen Brunson, and we don't need him in that role. We just need him to knock down shots if he's wide open, if he's out there here and there. But most importantly, he needs to pass the ball, get guys open. Like I said, he fits a need that the Knicks have been lacking. They needed a facilitator type player to come off the bench to help the Knicks. Knicks have some times when they're out there on the court and the offense is stagnant, right? Guys are not moving. The guys are not creating. They're just passing the ball or they're chucking. They're going ISO one-on-one. And, the defense is waiting for that. The defense is locking that down. You need to create things. You need to open things up. And Kolek is a guy who opens up shots. He knows how to make guys get shots. He basically knows how to make guys better. Excuse me. Jeez. All right. Another sip of the congestion maker. Hold on. Okay, we good. Yeah. Shout out to Kenny Payne in the building. Holy Kolek. What's going on, Kenny? Hope you're doing well. Hey, my guy, the Ron Wayne in the building. Salute. What's good? Another member of Still Knick Fans, guys. Appreciate you, Deron. Hope you're doing well, brother. He said, good afternoon, Ron. Listen, here's the thing, Billy. I agree. Toppin, he said nobody's talking about how good Toppin 2.0 looks. He looked as good as any wing that I've watched in Summer League. I don't know about that. I'm just being fair because I haven't watched a lot of Summer League guys. I've seen highlights here and there of guys having good moments and stuff, but I don't know about how good he looks in comparison to them. So I don't want to comment on it in that way. But I will say there's some good things that we saw from Toppin. It's unfortunate that he banged something up or tweaked something, so he's not able to play in the last couple games. I don't know if he's available today or if he's done for the Summer League, but you definitely see Toppin. He looks different from his older brother because he seems like he has a little bit more confidence, right? In his ability now, right? Obi needed more time to develop the confidence. Tibbs did a good job of putting more pressure on him to sap some of that confidence away, but so it's kind of a little different. But I just think Jacob is in a little better space, and he seems like he's a little more confident because he also knows that he can play defense, right? Not OG defense, not Mikal Bridges defense, but he can play solid defense, and that's an asset for any team, especially this Knicks team. if they can use it. I just don't know, guys. It's only one basketball and it's one Tom Thibodeau with his style of play. So it's hard to see minutes for a guy like Jacob Toppin. I don't know. Yeah, it'd be nice if Toppin plays today. That would be nice to see, but I'm not sure. Ronald Bradley is in the building. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I think this is my first time seeing you in the chat. Hope you enjoy the show. Please smash that like button if you haven't already done so. And if you enjoy the content, consider subscribing if you haven't done that. We'd love to have you as a part of the SKF Army. Let's see. Travel Vibes is in the building. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. He says, salute, Ron. Yesterday I got up looking for SKF. I think the reason was because I got paid Thursday and got Friday off. I was like, maybe Ron took a day off. Yeah, you was ahead of me by a day, man. And we here. Just on the regularly scheduled day. So that's okay. Hey man, enjoy it. Good to see you, man. All right. Kenny Payne says, I disagree. I know young Randall. I think you're talking about the Huck Porty comparison to young Randall. I hear you. Listen, I mean, it's not an easy comparison. They're both lefty. They both have that same type of height, right? Huck Porty is a little bit more physical than some of the other guys we got in the summer league. So the comparison is easier to make. But I mean, Julius Randle was a beast, man. I'm telling y'all. It's just, and every once in a while I'll be on Instagram and a Julius Randle highlight will pop up from Kentucky days, like monster. Always is, Kerry. He always is undervalued. Julius never gets a fair shake. Not after what has already taken place. People will not let him live down that season. It wasn't a bad season, but that season of what happened. You know what happened. Huck Porty does, yeah. Actually, it's true. He kind of doesn't look 6'11", but you're right. But hey, he is apparently. Captain Booty Man in the building. That's an interesting name. Kolek not playing this year. No, I think he'll get the spotty Deuce minutes that Deuce used to get, when Deuce wasn't really playing, but we tried to give him like 5 minutes if we could or whatever. He's gonna get those. And not all the time though. Rick Z is in the building. What's going on, Rick? Hope you're doing well. Says salute, Ron. Good morning, Knicks fans. And the other thing is, remember, I say this because of the fact that let's not forget, Kolek has shown that he's got a special ability to pass the ball and get guys open while doing it. And we paid him some good money, some guaranteed good money, $6.6 million. So Knicks ain't trying to just give players money like that and not figure out a way to see them out there in the court here and there. They gotta try at some point to give them a little love. It may not be a lot of love, but they got to figure it out. I agree with that, Knicks 100. That's why I kind of think that so here's the thing. I thought that the addition of Kolek would push Deuce, right? So that Deuce can continue to work on his game, continue to progress if he's here, so that he knows he's got somebody that can challenge him for minutes. The other thing is, I thought the addition of Kolek would also push Rokas to say, hey, see, the thing about Rokas is a good, I'm telling y'all, Rokas is a good player, guys. He got some solid game. He's aggressive. He's got a good handle. He can get to the rim. He's got a good mid-range. He can knock down a three when he's flowing. And he can play some defense and he's 6'4". He's also got good size. So Rokas is a little tricky. He's a good player that doesn't really need to showcase himself for nobody because he's already a professional basketball player. It's just that Kolek is somebody that the Knicks like and should like. And so Rokas knows, hey, he's another lefty like me. He can do something that they need, but I could do something that they need. So it automatically will light a fire under Rokas. So, man, I don't know, man. Knicks are in a really interesting situation, like I said. But I had some here. I don't. All right. So, yeah, that might be the case, Chef. Chef might have nailed it right there, folks. He might be right. That could be the case. Man, give me 1 second, y'all. Where did I drop this? Hold on. That was the dating game theme for y'all. For those that remember, the old fogies like me. Not a lot of y'all out there. Okay. So where are we? All right. Rick Z has a good question. He says, what would it take to get Capela? It's a good question. I think it might be a combination of Deuce. I mean, it doesn't have to be Deuce. It could be some other young asset that we can't use right now. But I think a combination of Deuce and Precious Achua, if we signed them and traded them. And, maybe even a second round pick would have to go in there too. I don't know. But something like that. Something like that, I think, would get it done. But that's us having to, which kind of stinks too. It's like having to reach out to Precious, who wants to be a part of his Knicks team, and basically sign him to trade him to Atlanta. That stinks, but is what it is. With a Deuce. Because Precious by itself don't get it done. And Deuce by itself don't get it done. So, I mean, I wonder if you could pull off Deuce and a first round pick and a second round pick, but I don't know. I don't know about that. But I do think that Precious and Deuce and a pick might be something they'd listen to. I mean, I don't know the value today of these picks and how the NBA looks at it. Maybe it takes 2 second round picks. I don't know how that works, but something like that is what I think would have to get it done. I think other people have said something similar to that effect as well. All right, so let me put this link out there for anybody that wants to jump on. Let's get it cracking. Talk about these young players. Talk about Summer League. And talk about, whatever big man rumors that you want to talk about. Toan Sellers in the building. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Well, man. Haven't seen you I think I've seen you in the chat in the past, but I could be wrong. But if I haven't seen you in a minute. Yeah, man. No, Nerlens Noel's body is available, but his hands can't make it. So Oh, man, I'm here all day. Thank you. Nerlens in those hands of steel, man. Them the Roberto Duran hands. No mas. One more round. Everybody usually knows that joke, but if there's anybody new who's just tuning in to Still Knick fans know the ledge, Nerlens Noel has really bad hands. He can't catch anything, man. The hands up. He's got hands of steel, yo. It's bad. D-Ras in the building. What's good? Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you. He said, buckle up for many 10-0 runs this season. I like it. Prophet DJ S in the building says, I like Rokas and Kolek. I'm with you. I do too. I'm with you. Rando in the building. What up, Rando? Appreciate it. Says, sign and trade Precious, Kolek, Sims, D-Hop, who after August 5th can be traded. Throw in the trade exception we have for Capela. Oh, no. Come on, man. Listen, I'll be honest with you right now, and Knick fans ain't going to like this one. Damn it. Man, I never thought I'd say this, but I do not want to trade Deuce. But if I had to trade either Deuce or Kolek, I'm trading Deuce, y'all. I know, don't do it. Look, don't do it. Guys, it's me. It's Ron. I haven't changed. It's still me. Come on, baby. Nah, no, I'm not Hollywood. I appreciate Deuce. Come on, baby. But Kolek got something that the Knicks need, guys. We have watched this Knicks team go on runs where they are stagnant offensively. They're looking around just to see who's going to do something because nobody can create. Kolek creates, but not just for himself. He creates for others, which is important. He will pass a guy open. You know how difficult that is? It sounds good in theory, right? I could pass a guy open. We throw the ball and get him to his spot. No, it ain't that easy because guys have to know what guys like, what spot they like on the court, right? You got to look at their game. You got to study the game, watch a little video, see what works for them. That's one. You also got to look at where a guy likes to catch the ball, right? Telltale sign of somebody who pays attention as a point guard. Look at their passes when they throw passes to certain players. You got to know where the guy wants the ball so he can get ready to just go straight up. You don't want to pass the ball down here. You don't want to be passing the ball over here, right where they like it in the pocket so they can get a nice shot, right? Whatever. Why am I shooting lefty when I'm a righty? Don't ask. That's one. The other thing is, like I said, passing guys open. Knowing how to anticipate what a guy wants to do or where they're going to lead them to a spot to get easy layups, cuts, whatever, different things like that. When you got a guy like that, it's hard to. Let me tell you guys something right now. Let me tell you something right now, everybody. Rando, appreciate you, my brother. My guy Paris Duggan has said the same thing. I'm telling both of y'all, and I'm telling anybody else out there, if the Knicks trade Tyler Kolek, may not be now, but they are going to regret it later. I'm telling you right now. I know we got Jalen Brunson, but there's no reason why Tyler Kolek couldn't be a big part of this team for years to come as a backup. You trade Tyler Kolek, you're gonna watch. You're gonna regret that. And I'm not saying he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, he's got some defensive issues that I'm still watching, right? He's not athletic. You know what I mean? He hasn't shown a mid-range game. But the fact that, he can get to the rim and get his layup on, right? The fact that we've already seen him hit a game winner, it shows he's got some cojones, some stones, right? The fact that we know that given a chance, given the reps, he can knock down the three. He's got good repetition with his shot. So he can knock it down. And he's a really good passer. I don't want to say incredible yet because I got to wait till you do that on the big stage consistently, but he's a really good passer. That's stuff that you can't deny it. So I'm just throwing that out there. All right, let me just say what's up to a couple more people. I got somebody backstage waiting already. I want to get him up here so we can chop it up. Shout out to Nice. Ibustelo Coffee. Ah, que lo que? What's going on, my brother? What up, Nice? My guy Ala Wise in the building. You tripping, Ala? Come on, baby. What we doing here, man? What we do? No. It is not. No. Not all point guards pass guys open. I watch the NBA just like you, bro. There's a pass and there's passing guys open. You know who? Let me give you an example. You know who was really good at passing guys open? Jalen Brunson. But guess what? That was with the Dallas Mavericks. I don't see as much of it. He passes the ball. He's a good passer too. But I don't see as much of the passing guys open with the New York Knicks as I did with the Dallas Mavericks. I rarely see it actually with him as a Knick. He still passes the ball. When he was with Dallas, he would come into the Garden, or the Knicks would play them in Dallas, and I'm telling you, I would watch him pass guys open. I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Because I used to think Jalen Brunson wasn't all that back in those days. And then when he came in, I could see how he controlled the offense off the bench. I was like, okay, he's better than I thought. All right. He was doing that with Dallas because that was his role, right? With the Knicks, he's a scorer now. You know what I mean? So passing is secondary. He don't focus on the passing guys open as much as he used to. Tyler Kolek is a pass-first guard and remains that to this day. And I don't know if he wants to change that. Like, I feel like he likes being that guy. So it's more easier for him to do it. You know what I mean? Plus, he's already told you out his own mouth, I know how to make guys better. Who says that? Come on, baby. I hear you, though. I mean, listen, if you're not impressed, I don't know what's not impressing you. Maybe it's the defense, the lack of defense and athleticism that you're seeing that you're like, is not wowing you. I don't know. But I'm impressed by the young man. I'm impressed by the fact that he's already shown that when you need a big shot, he'll take it. He's already hit a big shot. You know what I mean? And he has a creativity that hasn't even tapped it. We've already seen him make 3 or 4 incredible passes. And this is the summer league, y'all. Like, when the guy has the creativity gene, those are special players. You got to watch those guys. And they only get better. Just saying, Allah. Don't shoot me. Oh, wait. That may not be YouTube appropriate. Don't pew me. I kill me. All right, let me get my guy up here. Oh, let me first read this super chat. Shout out to Rick Z. Thank you for the generous super chat. I appreciate you, my brother. He said, hey, Ron, I live in Arizona now. Oh, wow. But my heart is with New York. Go get yourself one of those delicious breakfast specials. Love the show. Love our Knicks. I appreciate you, Rick Z. Thank you, my brother. Man, today has been, we got guys tuning in from all over. Arizona, the Bay. I'm missing something. There was some other place that was mentioned earlier. Yeah, man. Thank you guys for tuning in and rocking with us. Shout out to Fly God the Third, aka C_Mac in the building. Dwayne Washington Jr. is like a Temu version of Alonzo Tree. Now that's funny. You ain't lying. Let me get my guys up in here. Boom, Double A in the building. What up, Double A? And let me get my guy Sha Money in the building. Sha, what up, bro?
What's going down, Double A? What's going down, Ron?
Sha, hello. What's going on, fellas?
You know how we do.
I mean, your conversation today just confused me even more. Because I'm thinking, I'm thinking, look, when they traded and got Matteo, which I was all for, I mean, I got no complaints. We're moving Dante into a reserve role, okay? So that made the minutes. I'm like, dang, man, that's gonna mess with Deuce's minutes, right? And then they went and signed this dude Cam Payne, right? And now, okay, now what happened to Kolek? You know what I mean? Because we drafted Kolek, and we're like, man, you know, who's gonna get the minutes, Deuce or Kolek? And now you got this guy Robic showing out, and it's like, yo, what's the plan, man? You know, you're overstocked at guard, but we're weak at power forward and center. You know, yeah, you know, we can easily side OG the power forward Randall rest, and that'll open things up, more minutes for Hart and at small forward. But my thing is, what's the plan, man? It just don't seem to me the Knicks had a contingency plan for losing Ihart. And it was strange to me that he didn't come back and give the Knicks a chance, or did he just figure? Because, something else that we didn't think about, Ron, Ihart is a very loyal dude, and him and Mitch were like this. They were tight. And it could have been he just couldn't take them signing him at the risk of Mitch being traded. He knew that for the Knicks to match the Thunder's offers, they would have to trade Mitch. They would have had to make some money somewhere. They couldn't keep both of them. But this talk about Capela, man, he's not an upgrade over Mitch. I don't see him as an upgrade with Mitch. And to get him, we're going to have to, trade, some stuff to get him, man. And I think with Mitch, I understand that the injury, complaints and the risk of him not playing the whole season, getting hurt. And, I'm all for getting, a starting quality backup, like, say, a Steven Adams, right? That ain't going to cost as much at all. I think now with the arrival of these guys, with the overload of these guards we got, we can maybe revisit a trade with Utah, including, a couple of them, and maybe see if we can shake Kessler loose, But I don't see trading everything for Capela, man. I just don't see, he's making a lot of money, and he just doesn't fit this group. And we lost playmaking when we lost Ihart, Ron. A lot of people don't notice. A lot of it, a reason why our offense was rolling the way it is because of his play, his pick and roll. I mean, his picks, his, dribble handoffs. I mean, backdoor cuts. I mean, the dude was IQ smart, and that's why I'm with you about trading this guy Kolek, man. We need playmaking from somewhere. It's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let me before I get over to Shah, I see Metz is backstage. I see you, Metz. Let me say a couple things, right? So that way we're all on the same page. First, with regards to Ihart, it doesn't matter if we had Mitch or we didn't have Mitch, or if we didn't even sign OG Anunoby. It didn't affect Ihart no matter what. The Knicks could only give him what they were, being able to give him. The 72, whatever the hell it was, they couldn't go above that. It don't matter whether we could have let all them guys go, and not even brought in Macau, we still wouldn't have been able to go over that amount. That was tied to Ihart, so we were stuck there, right? With regards to Ihart, what you're saying, listen, in the back of my mind, I don't think you're wrong. He's not going to say it because that's like stuff he's not going to say. I do think in the back of my mind that Ihart really is a good friend with Mitch. And I also think that, the Knicks had an interesting decision that I don't know if they wanted to keep both of these guys, right, long term. So they wanted to re-sign Ihart, but maybe that meant they were going to eventually get rid of Mitch, right? And so I do think that Ihart, I'm not saying that's why he made the decision. I'm just saying in the back of my mind, I think I said it a couple of weeks ago. I don't even know if it was on my show or somebody else's show. I wouldn't be surprised if Ihart decided to walk away so that Mitch could have another shot to be back in his role. I part of me did think that, Double A. So I'm not saying that you may not be on to something there. But you know what? This is the thing that I was thinking a couple of days ago. It wasn't said, and it won't be said. I wouldn't be surprised if, in the end, Ihart made the decision to leave because of the fact that, he already said the fact that it was Oklahoma City, who he knows has a good team, made it easier for him because he knows he's leaving a good team to go to a good team. It's not like he was going backwards. And they both have championship aspirations. I think that if I'm Ihart, I'm leaving the Knicks, where I am a good focal point of the team. I love being here. I was still going to make good money, but I'm going to a team that also has a chance to win a championship going forward. I'm going to be making more money. They're run by somebody different. I don't have to work as hard on my sore Achilles. So I kind of, I'm not saying don't. Hey, I already said I don't have no issue with Tibbs. I think he asks for the best out of his players and he gets the best out of his players. But I do feel like in the back of somebody like iHeart's mind, he can still work. He can still put his time in, do what he got to do. But maybe he doesn't have to work as hard on that Achilles as he would under Tibbs, because that Achilles is still like that's something that's going to follow him for a while. The only way to really clear that up is to get extended rest. You can't get extended rest as an NBA player. So he's going to be playing with that for, he's just going to hope that he can keep it at the same pace that he was. Whatever inflammation he gets, he can keep it down. And you can't really heal on that. Like he's going to have to. He's going to need extended time. Like he probably would have to go through a summer and then maybe miss a month or two of the regular season. You need a lot of time and he's just not going to get that opportunity no time soon. I'm just saying, I'm not, like I said, it's not a cop out. I'm just thinking in the back of my mind, if I'm him and I know that Achilles strain is something that's going to stay with me, I could go over there, I could work, but I don't have to work as hard and I'm getting paid more and we still got a chance to win a championship going forward. That's all I'm saying. I was thinking about that the other day. Like maybe it's an easier road for him. I don't know. Because with the Knicks, he got to do a lot of heavy lifting. You guys saw in the playoffs, we needed him. If he didn't have that game against Indiana where he had 12 offensive rebounds and went crazy on them, who knows how that game. And that was the game that we blew them out, by the way. But we blew them out because he was making his job easy. Everybody else was hitting all their shots. But he had a lot to do with that. The fact that he had so many, I don't know how many rebounds he finished with. Maybe it was 18 or something. He was cleaning up. That takes a lot of effort. A lot of effort. I'm just saying. What's your thoughts on it, Sha?
Our heart is our heart. He did it. And, it's a whole number of reasons why he could have left because of the money. Could have been the friendship because maybe they were looking to trade Mitch. It's a whole lot of things that it could boil down into that pot. He's in a better place, and I'm glad that he went to a team that is striving to get the championship. But to get back to the mention of Capela, I'm trying to be an advocate for this now. I watched Raw Hebrew. Salute to Raw Hebrew. He put this trade proposal out there. Oh well, I don't know where he got it from, but he was the first person I heard. Usually you heard to get Capela, it would be Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride, blah, 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 and all these other things. And I wasn't really I wasn't with, letting go Mitch. But the trade that he put out there, which I really like is we trade Bates, his money is $3 million. We trade Sims, his money is $3 million. We trade Tyler Kolek for $3 million. We sign and trade Precious Achiuwa for about $11 million. And then we add in to the deal the RJ trade exception, which is up in sometime around December or something like that. With that, it makes the money work. It's about $24 million going out. We're getting back $22 million for an aspiring contract of Click Capela, which we could have for 1 year. And if we choose to pick him up next year, we can. If we don't want to, we don't have to. And they're getting 2 expiring contracts from Sims and Bates. They're getting a young rookie point guard with phenomenal skills that could pass the basketball and some nights could take over the game in Atlanta, alongside with the little leprechaun. They're getting 2 power forwards or a power forward and 2 centers, whichever one you want to call it. Precious Achiuwa can play power forward or center. You're getting Sims as a center, and you're getting Bates Diaw as a power forward / almost a center as well. And you're giving up $5 million of RJ trade exception. And if we don't use it, we lose it. And the money works. I like the deal. That deal right there, I would do that in a heartbeat. I mean, what are we giving up to get Clint Capela? The money works. It works in our books. We don't go over the cap. Actually, we would save about $500,000 with that trade going out. We send out 22 million. It's 23 and some change, almost 24 million. We would get money back. It would still keep us eligible to use our mid-level exception or that trade exception, the buy-in, whatever that exception is that we got left over. We still could use that to acquire more players. I like the deal. You know what I mean? I like it, and it's like you giving up a first-round pick, giving up Kolek. I mean, and Kolek, how much time Kolek really is going to get on the? Or do you think Kolek is going to play more minutes than Deuce this year, or do you think he's going to play more? Do you think he's going to play more minutes than Payne this year? Because those two guys are going to be competing for that position real hard this year. It's going to be Payne or Deuce, and I don't see no time for Kolek to be sitting 13, 14, 15 man on the bench because he's not going to get any minutes. I don't believe anyway. And I mean, as good as he's playing in the summer league and all that stuff, I don't think he'll get any minutes in front of Payne or in front of Deuce this year. So, including him in the deal, and he could go somewhere where he can, really blossom and really go out there and get his money. And another reason why they would probably take Kolek as well, small contract for the next couple of years. And if this guy blows up, it's worth the deal. It's almost like giving a first-round pick. This guy was stated to be a first-round draft pick. He fell into the second position. $3 million they signed for the most. If we all heard, the most they ever signed for a second-round player. Maybe they had some things in the works. Maybe they know something that we just talking about, but they already halfway past it or ready to do it. And I mean, they still have some time to make this deal done, but they have to try to do it before I think RJ's trade exception is sometime in December. So they would probably, if they wanted to really do we haven't seen anything about Precious. Precious ain't going nowhere. And the Knicks like taking care of their players. So you talk to them and talk about, hey, we're going to sign and trade Precious to you for 10, 9, 10, 11 million dollars. Somewhere in that range where the money could work. And we still keep Mitchell Robinson and we still keep Deuce McBride. I think this is a win-win. I don't know.
Well, the whole thing is, I hear what you're saying, but I guess my concern is I just don't know if the Knicks, like, the more and more we see Kolek, I think his value raises, right? Because you see that, okay, what we think he is. So I think it's hard to say that the Knicks would want to just get rid of that. I know if it depends on how much loyalty that the organization has towards Deuce, right? If they really don't want to trade Deuce and everybody's asking for Deuce and they can throw Kolek in there, then okay, I get it, right? But my whole thing is, if we're talking about Atlanta specifically, like, I don't know, because Rayford Trae Young over there has the ball. He's one of the highest ball usage players in the NBA, and he averages around 10 assists per game, one of the highest totals in the league. If not, I think he's number 2 behind Halliburton. Like, I don't know how Kolek fits them as much as maybe somebody else. Like, so I don't know. It's a little tricky for me. And my whole thing is, even though Kolek does look special in some regards, maybe they would be better suited if they had a guy like Rokas, because Rokas is he's a better all-around
or maybe Deuce
type of guy.
All that money that we're talking about is right around that same price, $3 million. Deuce is about $3 million. Kolek is about $3 million. Rokas, if we could sign him, $3 million. All of those numbers, the names could change, Rokas or Deuce, but that money is going to still be about the same, that $3 million range.
Right.
My question is Capela worth all this?
Well, that's why I was going to.
I just see a lot of more different options in him that's not going to cost us. I see them dangling Rokas or McBride for either Richards or Kessler, one of the two.
So here's the thing. This is what I wanted to ask you, because I forgot to ask you before, Double A. What is it that you don't like about Capela's game?
What I don't like about a game, he doesn't give us what we need. Okay,
well, what do you think?
He's not replacing any of what Isaiah gave us.
Well, he's a double-double guy, though. He can score 10 points and give you 10 rebounds.
He used to be. Remember, he's up there in age now. Capela's up there in age now. He ain't the same. He ain't the same Capela that used to kill us. And that's what I think Knicks fans are envisioning. The Capela that was the double-double machine in Houston, and the guy that, for the first couple of seasons with Atlanta, he was holding it down and got the big contract. But ever since he got that big contract around, he's been going down. Why do you think Atlanta would give him up? They're starting center. Why are they going to give him up? For what? Nick garbage, really? We're like
All
just
right.
putting stuff together to trade for him. You know what I'm saying? So why would I don't know? But I just think
I see
if
where
you're
you're
going to
going.
trade from your excess and what we have in hand, because look, if we sign Precious, it's going to come at a price, Shaw. That puts us salary. Doesn't that put us up in the apron now? Because yeah, we can go over and sign him because he's our own free agent, but that's going to put us in that higher tax bracket, right? Because we're going to have to re-sign him. And that salary we're going to take on. It ain't salary like we're taking and then we're shipping out. We're actually adding that salary to our books and then trading it away for Capela's salary. So that's added salary that we're going to add to our books. So I'm thinking a more parallel move will be trading for our strength width. Right now, we have a log jam at guard. I don't know why they signed Campaign. If they were high on this rookie Kolek, and Deuce showed what he showed, I didn't see the need for Campaign because there's no minutes. You got to make Dante happy because you're taking away his starting spot. He was playing over 30 minutes a game last year. What are you going to do? Cut him down to 12, 13, 14 minutes? It ain't going to work. So they got to deal from their strength, man.
Well, I think what they're trying to tell you is that they want to win and they want to make sure that they got guys who will not fold under the pressure, that know how to act in pressurized situations like what Campaign already showed when he played us in the playoffs. Coming off the bench, not expecting him to do anything, and he had a couple moments where he was lighting us up, right? And the stage wasn't too big, and we looked like we were the more dominant team against them. So it's not like he wasn't facing adversity when he was trying to come out there against us, and he was looking good. So I think the Knicks saw that and said, you know what? All right, listen, we know you're Macau's friend. All right, that's good for relationships. That's cool. But we also saw you play against us. You're annoying, you know what I mean? But you also knocked down the three at a pretty good clip.
Why waste resources on
something else coming down the line?
If we need him, and I agree that there has to be Shy, and that's what I'm saying. Because the way it's set up, it just got me confused. Because, all right, if you like you said, Ron, Cam is a good move because he's going to give you that insurance for all those things you mentioned. But you know what I mean? Okay, but then why did you waste resources on drafting this kid? And then you got Deuce. So that's all I'm saying. And we're still hurting at other spots.
I see what you're saying, but the thing is, it's not a waste of resources if you're getting a valuable player that can either help your team or can be traded. Either way, Kolek is a chip. He's a good asset because he's better than a second-round pick. You know why? Well, You know why. Because he really isn't a second-round pick. He's really a first-round pick that fell to the second round. And you can see by his talent, the rest of the league sees it too. So you already benefited from your move. You got somebody that the rest of the league knows, it's not too bad. We could use him on our team. Believe me, I'm sure that the Knicks are already getting some interest from other teams about Kolek. They know that the Knicks is stacked and there may not be a lot of playing time for this young man. You think no other team is calling about Kolek? I'm sure they are. So it's not a bad thing.
With Cam, there's no playing time for Deuce. For Cam, there's no playing time for Deuce.
Let me bring Mets in here. Mets, what's up, brother?
Not much. I mean, the whole point for this year is, can we find a good quality center or to be number one while Mitch is put back in the role I think he was starting to get comfortable with, center two. If we can, I don't know if we can, because right now we're running out of time. If we can't, I'm just going to say it. 24-25 is going to be pretty much sunk when you consider how much of a glass cannon Mitch has become because of the litany of injuries he's taken in the 7 years he's been with this, 6 or 7 years he's been with this team.
It's interesting.
If we
I don't
can
know, Mitch. It's interesting. Go ahead. Continue.
If we can find someone to take over the C1 spot, then I don't know who it'd be. Clint Capela is asking for too much. Danny Ainge being an overkill hoarder in terms of finances and draft capital. I'm not sure if we can get Kessler, and Sengun is too much money for. Is too much of an offer, or that we're probably going to refuse. Are there any other viable candidates we could go after?
Only Richards.
Nick Richards. Well, I mean, at this point, take the path of least resistance. I don't know how injury-prone Nick Richards is, but I say we throw him a bone.
So here's my question. It's not just with you, Mets. It's with other people. Do you guys not see Mitchell Robinson as a starting center if healthy in this league?
I do
see him as healthy in this league as a starter. The problem is, when has he ever been healthy? Most of the time, he's getting his ankles beat up, surgically reattached, and beat up again, surgically reattached again. You get where I'm going with this.
I hear you. Well, the other reason why I was saying it because now I forget. There's so much going on. I can't remember everything. But
and again, bring in results to a trade-off. Sims gets knocked down to center 3, and we don't see what Oka, whatever his name is, his potential in the main league, in the main association, is he'll be stuck on a G league team at best, or basically left to rot in the summer leagues at worst.
So I think what the Knicks organization looks at with regards to Mitch is the fact that they've experimented with this young man, right? They try to make him a certain way. They try to bulk him up and put more weight on him. They did him a disservice because they made him too big, right? They didn't manage him well. And then he struggled because of it. He was too big. He was slow. He was plodding. He couldn't move around. It put a little bit more
with the muscle mass, made him more injury prone.
Right. Correct. So, and I think
it was the
I
same
think
thing.
That's part of the.
It was the same thing with the Cesar Jawari and the Giants when he opted to bulk up. He hardly ever played last season, the last couple of seasons.
That's a good point. I think, and that's sometimes like the organization knows that, and I think that's another reason why they feel like it's a disservice to the team. I mean, to Mitch, to just kind of treat him, when they've been kind of maneuvering him around, making him bulk up and do this because they thought it would be better, and it hasn't worked out. So now, I think they see that could have also led to some of the injuries that he received, because Mitch played 66 games, right? Then he played 61, then 31, but then he played 72, which showed great progress of him working on his body to try to come back healthy. Then this was the year he bulked up, and he played 59 games, right? This is the bulked up year, right?
This was 21, 22.
And then he played 31.
23, 22, 23.
Yeah, 22, 23 is what I'm. Yeah.
And this year he only played like what, 40?
He only played 31 games this year.
Oh.
How did he get hurt this year?
Same as always.
Did he just fall apart, or did somebody?
It was the ankle.
Did he step on somebody, or what?
The same ankle.
Yeah.
He had recovering surgery on that same. I think it's the left ankle. It's twice already.
And then you have the postseason, and Embiid is the main villain, where he yanks Mitch by that bum wheel.
Correct. Yeah, Embiid really messed things up for us with regards to having Mitch being somewhat of use for us going forward in the playoffs. He put the nail in the coffin on that. He messed us up, man.
Next time the Knicks play him, bring an equalizer, i.e., bring a lead pipe.
I got a question for you, fellas. One of the reasons why I like Steven Adams, besides him being a great offensive rebounder and he sets good picks, decent passer, from the top
from Oklahoma City
enforcer. No, well, he's with Houston now, Mets, on the bench. He's on bench, and he was with Memphis too. But Steven Adams, he was top. Him and Mitch are always 1 and 2 on offensive rebounding. But the guy is supposedly the strongest guy in the NBA. I mean, the guy, nobody messes with him. And I just saw a pattern last year, especially starting near the end of the season, where teams were starting to beat up, especially Jalen. They were like beating him up, setting up really hard picks and, fouling him hard and things like that. So I really think somebody like that would be a benefit to our team to protect our players and protect our investment, because Brunson is our investment. He's our future. He goes down, we in tough shape.
How many years would you want Adams around for? 2 years, 3 years?
Well, I'd bring him and see what he got, But I'm saying it would be a less of a risk, and we wouldn't have to give up so much, to get him. But do you guys see a need for an enforcer on this team?
Yes.
I do, but I don't know how. Like, where? You know what I mean? I agree. I always thought we needed to get an enforcer here, but like, where do you put him? I mean, I guess if you can find a power forward of some, but like, we can't. How can we find that now?
But that's why I like Steven Adams. He fills both the backup center need and that enforcer.
Yeah, he's tough. He's tough. I hear you on that. Yeah, I like him for that. That's true.
I was convinced when he picked somebody up and dragged him on the other side, and carried him to the other side of the court. I forget who it was in a fight.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, I gotta do this. Oh shoot, what? All right, hold on. It's gonna take 2 more seconds. I thought I saved it. Give me a second. I'm not quite where I need to be yet. Oh, that's why. I forgot. Gotta change the name. I tell you. What is this guy's name? Yeah. That's it. So I need to do this AA. You know what I mean? Because you're not in a league by yourself. Other people may feel the way you feel, and we got to look at it for what it is, so we can understand what we're getting and what it looks like if it works for us. Because I hear you. I get a lot of second guesses and a lot of doubts about certain things and certain players. And if there's some information out there that maybe I haven't, because I don't watch everything, bro. I'll be honest. I get busy. There's other stuff I got going on, and I don't get a chance to see some of this stuff. So if I can take a look and we can use that as a way to understand better, why not? Okay, I got it. And let me bring up my guy in the background. Good to see him. Phil.
Yo.
What's up, buddy?
What up?
My dog.
What's up? I've been quiet. On this this Knicks stuff all summer. I've been
What's
quiet.
good, Brody?
All right, so let me before you get going, Phil, let me just throw this up. This is for AA and for those who may be feeling the way AA feels. Because honestly, if I didn't look, I'd be like, maybe AA is right. But I looked. So now AA feels like maybe Clint Capela is past his prime. What can he offer us at this point? He's been in the league for a while. I got you. So I'm just throwing this out there for context, right? And then I'll throw out the numbers. Let's go the last 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's go the last 9 games of the regular season for Clint Capela. 22 and 17, 22.17 rebounds, 13 and 11, 15 and 6, 6 and 11, 19 and 12, 6 and 13, 11 and 16, 15 and 11, right? So this is the end of the season, right? It still shows that, Atlanta was knocked out. They ain't got nothing to play for. He's still putting in the effort, getting them double-doubles and high double-doubles, right?
And he's only 29, 30. I don't think he's no more than 30, 31 the most. I think he's 29, 30, 31, somewhere around there.
I'll tell you right now, since I'm already here, Clint Capela age he is 30 years old.
30 years old.
He just turned 30 this year, so
just
he's 30.
Turned 30.
All right, and so then let's look at the actual numbers. You know how we do here. 11.5 points, 10.6 rebounds to finish the season. We finished at a double-double, y'all. 1.2 assists, 0.6 steals, 1.5 blocks, almost 2 blocks a game, 57% from the field. He doesn't shoot threes. We knew that. And even though his free throw shooting is not nothing to be happy about, 63% from the free throw line is much better than 38% that Mitch shoots. So this is what Clint Capela is right now at age 30. I think this helps the New York Knicks team. Yes, he's not a passer like Hartenstein. Yes, he can't shoot the rock, but he scores. You know what I mean? He scores, he gets his little double-doubles, and he's still very effective on the glass, and he blocks shots. And I'm just going to throw this last thing out. You know how each Knicks player has their own little nemesis? Clint Capela has always been Mitchell Robinson's go-to guy. Like, they always fight. You know, it's always a fight. I'm just saying. He don't just fall apart when, like, other bigs that we've seen, Cleveland Cavalier bigs, just name one. So I just want to throw that out there. All right. That being said, Double A, how you feel about Clint Capela? Just saying.
I still don't want him, man.
Okay. All right. We did it, y'all. Pew, pew.
You see that assist? You see that assist number? Help me out, Phil.
I hear you.
We got to get some kind of playmaking from somewhere. Okay, Isaiah is a big part of our playmaking.
There's nobody out there, though. Double A, who else is out there that could give up 3-4 assists a game as a big man?
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
There's nobody really out there. These guys that we're talking about, Utah guy, Kessler, and all these guys.
I'm talking about the boy at Houston.
He's not getting traded. They've already come out and said they're not trading him.
Okay, well.
Well, no, go ahead, Shaw. Before you forget, who were you going to say?
I was just going to say not Okoro. I keep forgetting this. The guy that played center position behind Clint Capela has blossomed this year. I keep forgetting the African young man over there.
Oh shoot, I forgot his name too, and I know exactly who you're talking about.
I can't remember his name, man, but he's really blossoming. I forgot it too. Yeah. He's really blossoming this year. You know what I mean? This is another reason why they may be ready to move off of Capela.
And he's cheaper. Yeah. Go ahead, Phil. My bad.
All right. So Double A, I know you want me to be your reinforcer. I apologize. I cannot.
No, I want you to be real, baby. I want you to be real.
All right. So this is where I'm at with it, listening to you guys talk. The reason Clint Capela makes sense is, as much as someone may love Mitchell Robinson, you cannot deny that he is not a safe bet when it comes to being your starting forward. Not that he's not good enough to be a starting forward, because he is. He is incredible. Like, he showed against Joel Embiid that he is the kind of center you want to be able to bully these kind of guys that typically bully other bigs. However, his availability is the problem. You can never guarantee that he's going to be there. So losing Isaiah Hartenstein was huge for us because he could play that starting position if Mitchell Robinson is unavailable. So when looking for a replacement big, you have very limited options because you need someone that's not just a good big that can come off the bench, but it needs to be a good enough big that if Mitchell Robinson does what Mitchell Robinson can do and gets injured, they can fill that spot. The good thing about Clint Capela is if he comes off the bench and Mitchell Robinson has a miraculously healthy season, then we have an elite big man as our backup because he's going to punish people off the bench because he's never been a bench center. He's always been a starting center. Now coming off the bench, he can do damage. If Mitchell gets injured, now we have someone that has experience being a big that can come in and take over that position without that gap of him needing to learn how to be a starter, which a lot of other players would be that. There would be that weird transition period where they have to come into themselves. Isaiah Hartenstein became that guy, but there was that transition period where people were like, last season, why did we get this guy? And then he learned to be a starting big, but we don't fall in that learning category anymore. Clint Capela can also score. We need scoring. Like, we have a lot of great scorers right now in the starting lineup. We got Matteo, we got Jalen, we got Julius. That's cool that Mitch doesn't score much because all the other guys around him are those guys. Now off the bench, it's different. Okay. Now you have, Dante, who's a scorer, but Josh Hart is not really meant to be a scorer. We don't really have a backup 4 yet that's really there. So getting points off the bench in our center is something that's helpful. So him being able to put that 10 to 20 points up a game is going to be impactful for us. So when we're talking about the whole Kolek, McBride, what would they want, etc., I actually don't think they would want Kolek. And the reason I say that is because they've transitioned. And so you go, why would they want someone like, McBride, this, that, whatever, or Precious? Well, they've shown with moving DeJounte Murray, and if they move Capela, that they realize they're not in win now mode. Like, they're just not. They tried that last season. It didn't work out. Now they're in, okay, we don't want to wait forever because we have Trey and we want to try to win. But Trey's still only 25 years old. So there's time there. Even though he's been in the league for a while, he may seem older. He's 25 years old. So not going complete rookie like Kolek would make sense if they went with a McBride or a Rokas because they have experience and they can plug in and be competitive in the next few years as opposed to long-term building. And so the last thing I'll say about Kolek is the reason I don't see us moving him is, first of all, he's got the offense and, plays decent defense, which is what you want to see in a Tibbs guy. But also, we always talk about how the Knicks are either in full rebuild or win now mode. There's no in between. Us keeping a Kolek makes us win now, but also have someone that can develop into our future. Playing behind Jalen Brunson, who's got very similar DNA, can only make Kolek a better player playing alongside of that. And so the campaign thing to me made total sense because that makes McBride an option if we can fill a void somewhere. That makes McBride an option. He wasn't an option to move before because we needed someone who could shoot and someone that could score off the bench. Now campaign is there, and we've said it how many times? Continuity and working with people that you have seen work together has worked so well with these New York Knicks. And so having Mikal and Cam already have that chemistry, you can now have Mikal come in with that second unit and play with someone that he's already comfortable with, that they have that playing and that winning DNA together. And so I believe that campaign was a genius move at that low budget of a signing. I think it's actually fits exactly what we're trying to do right now. So I personally would see us going after a backup center. If McBride's got to go, he's got to go. As much as I love him and don't want to see him go, I think he's a possible moving chip now because campaign is there. And I think Kolek will be our future because he fits everything that this franchise is currently building on right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have to agree. If McBride sticks around, I don't really see many of the pieces welding together. True. Do we need a legit backup center since we can't trust Sims or the guy we got in the last leg of the draft? Yeah, but the question is, who do we get? Sengun, Kessler, Capela, they're not leaving Houston, Utah, or Atlanta, respectively. Nick Bridges and Richards from Charlotte, that's a bit iffy at best, even though I'd be willing to ship and get him. But then who do you have left? We need a legit enforcer.
What about Marcus Morris? Bringing him back as power forward.
If the money works, follow the money.
Where is Marcus currently?
He was with the Cavs. I don't know if he's currently got a team.
I suppose it could
I don't know.
work. I mean, he's like what, 6'9", 6'10". He fit. a decent 3 center if we have to move Sims down to the G League, right?
Yeah, I just think Marcus Morris could be the enforcer and a backup power forward if Julius Randle needs to rest that shoulder at all.
But my problem with that idea is, you could say this with the backup center concept as a whole, if we knock Sims down towards G League level at worst, would be we'd be getting a little too top heavy at the front line.
Right. I mean, this is all interesting, and shout out to Phil for that good take about what's going on with the center position. And I mean, and once again, guys, if you want to see more.
Yeah,
Phil,
I mean, that's
check them out on
something
Knicks
that,
Morning
I
Brew.
mean, if you've been following the Knicks and you halfway have any basketball sense, it's what Robinson's history has been. But my thing is he's still on our team, and he's still a starting quality center when he can play. When he's on the court, he's one of the top centers in the NBA for what he brings. He is. Offensive rebounding, guarding the rim. I mean, I don't see Capela giving us that type of defense, but I understand. I'd like to see Capela's numbers the whole season, not just 6 games. I'd like to see what he's doing the whole year, not towards the end of the season. But Phil, I was mentioning somebody like a Steven Adams. Somebody, we have to work with what we got. Capela, with Capela, it's a lot of moving parts. We're talking about, we're having to re-sign Precious or moving this guy, moving that. It's a lot of pressure, moving parts realistically to get him on our team. But, somebody like a Steven Adams that's a veteran that has started before, that can be dual purpose, that brings what Mitch brings that toughness.
He's coming off a big injury, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As great as Steven Adams is, you got to look at the fact that he's 30 years old and didn't play last season because he had knee surgery. Off a big injury. Like, that's a big injury. So if we didn't have injury issues with Mitch, that would make sense. But you don't want to replace your injured center with a center who just spent a whole season out of the league because of injury. Like, what happens if he agitates it too? We're going with Sims all year, and that's what we did all this stuff in the offseason, was to have Sims be our starter. Like, I don't think that works at all. And then that puts us in panic mode, like, when something like that happens. I think if we need insurance for an injury, it shouldn't be with injury.
That happens. We basically be where we were in 21-22, starting off good, but falling flat on the face due to lack of adaptability, a myriad of injuries, and bad game micromanagement.
And that's why I think the Knicks are doing their best to address all of that for this season. They are trying to get healthier pieces to come off the bench just in case, so we can avoid having the same thing happen. They have brought in a new vice president of their, basically their whole health staff, right? I don't know if he's revamping with other people, but listen, once again, and the thing is, sometimes people gloss over stuff because it's not sexy, right? This dude's not a player. He's not a coach. You don't see him, right? This guy that the Knicks picked up from Dallas is renowned as one of the best physical trainers, or whatever the hell his specification is. I don't want to downplay his acumen, but whatever. He's known as one of the best in the NBA. He's been with Dallas for years, and the Knicks were able to get him. So he's with the Knicks now, and this is the first year they're having him. So you got to expect that the Knicks are trying to do much more in regards to making sure their players are healthy and will hold up throughout a whole NBA season going forward. So the Knicks are trying their best. Let me just say this real quick. I want to, shout out a couple people in the chat just to give them a quick shout out. And also I want to say, anyone who has a blue wrench, right? You are a moderator for the show. I got a lot going on. Unfortunately, we got 200 people watching across all platforms. Thank you for being here. But if you guys can help, if you notice that someone is asking for a link in the chat, if I throw a link out there at any point, if you can just copy it, right? Just in case if somebody is asking for a link and I don't see them, you could just paste it in the chat. You guys, anybody with a blue wrench has the ability to paste a link in the chat as long as you have it. The other thing too is if I didn't post the link in the chat and you don't have it, you can open up another browser in your internet and go to Still Knicks Fans on the YouTube and then click the link of the web browser at the top. And you can throw that in the chat on the show. You have access to do that because that really helps me out. Shout out to my guy, Sam Grandison. Unfortunately, he was asking for the link. I didn't see it and he had the bounce. But just in case, so for future reference, if anybody needs the link, anybody with a blue wrench can add the link to the show just to help me out. Because, you know, as moderators, I know I don't always ask a lot of you guys, but if something like that happens, that does help me. Outside of just keeping the peace and making sure we're good, that helps a lot. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. So let me just give a quick shout out to other people. G Robinson in the building. Salute. New Knicks City and Squad. Yeah, what's good? As my guy Real would say, this is not real, but if he was here, he'd say, okay, what's going on? Appreciate you, man. The Organic Fanatics podcast is in the building. Please show them some love on YouTube. Moneybag 97 is in the building. Appreciate you. He says they need to call Bulls to get Vucevic. Maybe that's another alternative. I don't know. You know, Julian Blum is in the building. What up, Julian? Appreciate you. Mike Austin is in the building. Appreciate you. Veteran Insurance, they see Deuce as an off-ball guard, not a backup one. I think that may be true. And I think that's how I see him. I don't see him as a backup point guard. He's more of an off guard to me. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm fine with that. Shout out to Shoquan. What's going on? Appreciate you, bro. Brooklyn Cardio in the building. Mike Boy is here. Pedro Sanz Alberti in the building. Dunruss Gallman is here. Jay from PR in the building. My guy Andios NYK. What's good, Andios? JM3 in the building. Did I say George Jones? I don't know if I did. Shout out to George Jones. Killerado, what's good, my boy? What up, Wood? Jay Boogie in the building. What up, Jay Boogie? Keyshawn is here. Adam V is in the building. Jabroni Z in the building. Jay Terrence Ridge is here. Everything Knicks, 808 Empire State. HP Carlos, all the way from Portugal. Hector Cabrera, Agent Super Argo. My guy Dripmore, preferred barber of Still Knicks fans and the Knicks community is in the building. Let's go. We here, baby. Poppy King is here. HB Love is here. William Thompson is here. Royce is here. Wiz BKLA, this is for you. What up, Wiz? And shout out to Just Knicks and my guy, Brian Gustin in the building. What up, Brian? Good to see you, bro.
Yo.
All right.
Ron.
Back to it. Yes, sir.
So two things you said based off of the comments. First, the Vucevic thing. Like, that would be dope, but homeboy's getting 20 mil next year, you know? So where are we getting an extra 20 mil from? You know, like we're talking about, you know, smaller amounts for, you know, like, oh, we get Precious and Move McBride. Well, those numbers aren't, you know, 20, you know, so there's a lot more that has to go into that to get a Vucevic type player, which would be great because he stretches the floor and can shoot. But the last thing that you said was about Miles McBride, and this is why I think that Miles McBride is now, unfortunately, an expendable piece. The same way that in the offseason last year, when we picked up Dante played a very similar role to IQ. And I said last summer, like, IQ will probably be moved because Dante can do so many things that IQ can do. Everyone thought I was crazy. IQ gets moved. Dante gets those minutes. So if McBride is not meant to be that facilitator one guard, he's not fighting Campaign for minutes, who would be that guy running and facilitating. He would be fighting the same battle that IQ was battling with Dante minutes. And we saw from last year, Dante was good enough to start for us. I don't think his minutes are going to suffer so that Deuce McBride can get minutes. Because if you're looking, the only thing that he's got higher than Dante is his defense. But now with Josh Hart there, but also campaign off the bench, that solves some of our defensive, need for McBride and allows Dante to do what Dante does, which is be our inferno. So you're not going to take a guy who gets better and better with minutes, sit him to the bench, and then say you're going to split your minutes with McBride. No, Dante needs to cook. So Dante's going to be out there soaking up all of those minutes. And you're crazy if you do not think that sometimes throughout the season, you're not going to see the 4 Villanova boys share minutes together at the same time. That is going to happen. Whether it's Mitch as the 5 or if they decide to play small and have Randall at the 5, those 4 guys are going to play together throughout the season. I'd be surprised if more than 3 games at a time go by where you don't see a unit of them 4 on the floor at one time. So as much as I like McBride, if he's fighting against Deuce, I see him as the more expendable piece because now they have campaign. So I think it's going to be hard for Deuce to get quality minutes. And Ian Begley even confirmed my thoughts. He was like, this will probably be what you see. You're probably going to see a lot of campaign facilitating minutes off the bench. And Josh Hart and Dante and maybe McBride. This is someone who also likes McBride, who's close to the team, that said it'll probably maybe be McBride, that he can't guarantee sources, but he would have it blow his mind for campaign to not get minutes and McBride make him, be the starting one when he doesn't facilitate.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And what Phil said, one of the most important points that he just made was us being realistic about acquiring a $20 million a year center. So this is why I'm saying, even if you have to take a chance on somebody like, say, an Adams or somebody that a move that we can make with what we can do, to even approach a deal like that, we got to try to re-sign Precious, And like I was saying, I don't know, maybe you can help us out with this, Phil. We were wondering if us re-signing Precious to trade him, won't that put us in a different salary? Won't that add salary to our?
Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure, but I believe if what I was reading was correct, I believe Jalen Brunson taking that big of a cut gives us more flexibility with the budget. So I think they've acknowledged the fact that we need a backup center. Here's the thing. So many people are like, oh, the Knicks aren't addressing backup center. Guys, this front office, as much as we talk ball, they know the issues with the team more than we know the issues with the team. This is their money. This is their time. This is their career.
Way farther than we are.
Yeah, there's no one looking from the inside and going, man, our bench unit is fully ready. They know that. They've seen, they've seen Sims's numbers, and do I think Sims can still grow? Yes. But is he a guy that you can bank on to be your backup? No. So if we see that, the front office definitely sees that because they're the ones putting in that time and effort trying to get certain players there. And if they're not getting there, they see it closer than we do. So I truly believe that this front office over these last 2 seasons has done enough for me to put down my guard of not trusting them and say, okay, I didn't trust the Knicks front office at all 3 years ago. But now I'm all in. I'm going to trust the process. And I believe before we need it, I think it's going to happen. I would be shocked if we don't have an insurance policy behind Mitchell Robinson by the time October comes.
Thanks.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Another player that I've seen mentioned recently. I don't know how real it is, but another guy that the Knicks might be interested in looking at is Wendell Carter Jr. All right, he's a little bit size wise. He might be a little, he's 6'10", 270 pounds. He's a good size. He's not a true 7-footer, but he plays like a big guy. So I mean, it's a possibility. And He's current. Oh wait, sorry, that's a mistake. I'm gonna fix that real quick before I put that back up. Give me a second, guys. But he's a player that I think has a little bit of everything in his game, right? The only thing with him is he's a solid, like he's solid on the defensive end, and the fact that you're not gonna cook him really, but he's not a rim protector. And Tom Thibodeau loves his rim protectors. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about that off the bat? Like, do you feel like if we bring in somebody, do they have to be a rim protector? What's your thoughts on that? Let me start with you, Double A.
Yeah.
So you feel like if we bring in somebody, he needs to be a rim protector?
We need somebody that brings, like Phil said, that can bring a starting quality performance. That be able to come in and do what Mitch does, protect the rim, not necessarily score, but if he's playing with the second unit, it'd be good that if he can score a little bit, that would help that out, like you guys said. But we definitely need somebody, that should be a prerequisite, because that's the way Tibbs' defense worked. And I don't know why this hasn't been talked a lot about. But just the thought of having Mitchell Robinson playing alongside Bridges and OG, Mitch having for the first time two other guys in that starting lineup that can hold their own on defense, to see what he can really do when he's not jumping back and forth covering for guys and stopping. It's just wonderful to think about, really.
Well, I mean, tell you. I will say, guys. I mean, there's some out there, but it's not a lot of guys that can stretch the floor and also be a rim protector. It's not like it's not as easy to find these guys that a team wants to give up, because usually these guys are pretty special and they're not going anywhere. So I just want to throw that out there because it's just not as easy to come across these guys. All right, so I fixed that.
Kessler's one of them.
Well, listen. Let me. I thought we talked about this already, Double A, when we went over it last week, and I pulled up that stuff that came out of Utah. I forgot what's the name of the analyst, the reporter who said it. The knock on Kessler is that they don't know if he's really developed offensively the way they want him to develop. He isn't really a great shooter. He doesn't stretch the floor the way they would like him to. He doesn't set good screens, and they don't benefit from the screens he sets. There was that weird stat about points off of screens, and he's one of the lower in the league at doing that. So
look at the team he's playing for, Ron.
I hear you, but but I'm just saying. I guess that's one of the things they look at.
What interests me is that 2.5 blocks coming off the bench.
I hear you. That looks great. He's a monster.
That shot, he can shoot the three. He's not like Mitch where he won't take the three shot and he's no potential. He's only 22 years old or something. So he does attempt to shoot the three, so it's something he can get better at and work on. And for right now is what he can give us. We can take the 2.5 blocks per game off the bench. I mean, that would fit in like a glove on our team. So well, like you said, man, it's hard to find that double money, man.
But that's the thing is, as much as we like the idea of Walker Kessler, and I'm not gonna put anything past what the front office can do anymore after a Raptors trade and a freaking Nets trade within 8 months. So I'm not gonna say
big fact.
I'm not gonna say it's impossible. But from what I'm hearing, I think it's more so outside sources on the Eastern Conference that think that Kessler is available. But things that I'm reading are also saying that Utah isn't really interested in moving him, that it would have to be something that really makes them go, yeah, it's worth doing. So I don't know which one's true. He's either going to be moved or he's not, but it's not going to be at a low cost, and that's a fact, and if we've been complaining about, some of the fan base thinking that we spent too much on Mikal Bridges, who is a guaranteed connect with 3 of our best players on our team already. How many, complaining Knicks fans would freak out if Kessler got multiple first-round picks, and there's no guarantee that, he's going to work out in a Knicks uniform. So I would look at other options as well. There's talk of Brook Lopez being willing to be, moved by the Bucks. Is that something we look into, like veteran presence, someone that, has played really, really well for the Bucks over the last few years, like knows what it takes to win a championship? And if we're not going that big and we're looking, more so young, Isaiah Stewart of the Detroit Pistons, like 23 years old, had a lot of upside, ended up falling in the rotation, later in the year. But he's someone that they said Detroit might be willing to move since they have Jalen Duren, So those are 2 options that are possible as well. I think that there's enough options on the table, though, that the front office is working something out. The front office is on calls. They're doing what they have to do. And I think at the end of the day, we'll get a piece that's going to really help us.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me do this. Okay. Here it is. Shout out to Craig in the building. Salute, Craig. Appreciate you. What's good? Hope you're doing well. Mega NYK in the building. Please show support. Hit that like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. What up, Mega? Good to see you. The Predicate is in the building. Knicks should be playing 10 players next season. Regulate the minutes, tips. Shake my damn head. Lonnie Meeks is in the building. Salute, Lonnie. He said Cam can be put in a trade in 6 months, if need be. Big L 139 and Linux in the building. Salute. And I think, shout out to Justo11. Thank you for the generous super chat. He said thoughts on Santi Aldama. He can play 4 or 5, space the floor. He makes the same as Deuce with a team option. Also, Isaiah Stewart could be good. Yeah, but Isaiah Stewart, he is good. And Detroit might want a little bit more for him because he's their enforcer. So he's not only a decent player, but he's also their enforcer, which adds a little value to him, if you ask me, because I think that's something that people should value. There are not a lot of guys that have that level of fire, that you can bring to your squad. Let me share screen to bring up Santi's numbers real quick.
Hey, Sean, that guy you was thinking about was Okongwu from Atlanta.
Okongwu, thank you, Okongwu. He made. Thank you very much, Double A. He made devastating. He was devastating last year for them. He really backed. That makes Capela a little bit more and Capela's on an expiring contract. I think he only has 1 more year on his contract. You know what I mean? So this would actually, if they were to do Capela, we don't necessarily have to bring him back next year. He would be a player that we can let go and acquire that $22 million that would be on our books. That probably could help out Julius Randle and probably Mikal Bridges to get a little pay raise.
Sounds good. So Santi is a true 7-footer, 215 pounds. He is 23 years old. Wow, he's young.
215 pounds.
Yeah, he's this is a stretch the floor guy. This is not a defensive, stalwart. I mean, he gets under 1 block a game, right? But he shoots 60. My fault, y'all. I expected him to shoot a little better from the free throw line. Someone who can actually shoot the 3. He shot 35% from 3, right? He shoots 33% for his career. And 1.7 to 5 attempts a game. That's a good amount of attempts. So he can knock it down. But you telling me you shoot 62% from the free throw line? What? What are we doing here? I don't understand that.
What are we doing here?
I would already be like, if I saw that, I'm like, I don't know about you, young fellow. I'm not sure, but it's a free throw. You're a good shooter. You telling me you can't knock down a free throw? Whatever. Okay. And he shoots 43.5% from the field goal. So yeah, I mean, this free throw percentage would knock me out. I'd be like, you telling me you're not a great defensive player, right? 6 rebounds per game, basically, it is what it is, depending on how many minutes you play. But if you're playing 26 minutes per game and you're 7 foot and you can only get me 6 rebounds, I'm a little, You know what I mean? I'm not a big fan of that. You guys know my rebound numbers. If you play 18 minutes, you should be able to get me 5. Anything more than 18, I should be able to get, something nicer, little 6. If you play even more, maybe 7. If you play 26.5, almost 27 minutes, you should get me more than 5.8 rebounds. My opinion as a 7-foot center, right? But because he's such a perimeter-based guy, he's probably never down low to be able to get the rebounds. I don't know. But the 62% from the free throw line for a guy who apparently can shoot, that bothers me. So I don't know about Santi, bro, but I mean, I've mentioned him in the past, but now that I look at his numbers, he's a little iffy in my mind. A little bit. All right, man. Hey, Phil, thank you so much for being here and rocking with us, bro. Appreciate you. I didn't even get to ask Phil where he's at these days. If you guys don't know, obviously Phil is a part of the Morning Brew Network, Morning Brew Sports Network. He's also part of, Knicks Morning Brew. But he's doing something that a lot of people love to do in theory, but it's on their bucket list, but they don't get to do. He's kind of traveling around the U.S. with his family. So I don't know where Phil is right now, but, I'm sure he's having fun wherever he is. So, yeah, that's thoughts on Santi. But let me get back to Wendell Carter because I got his numbers right. All right, so Wendell Carter Jr., 11 points per game, 6.9 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 0.6 steals, 0.5 blocks, 52.5% from the field, 37.4% from 3, 69, almost 70% from the free throw line. It's not too bad.
Sounds like he's more offense oriented than defense when you think about it.
Yeah, he is.
Which may be a bit of a caveat with getting
right. So that's the thing. Like, do you want somebody who's a little bit of a change of pace from Mitchell Robinson? Because he is. He has moments where, I mean, given the opportunity, his rebound totals go up. So he's a solid rebounder. I would say I've seen enough of him to know that he can rebound the ball. He definitely can score around in the lane. He can stretch the floor a little bit. He's got a good shot. So do you want that type of change of pace? He's not a rim protector. It depends on what the Knicks value right now. Can they be comfortable enough knowing that they have great perimeter defenders? So even if Mitch is not out there, the flip side is on the reverse, whoever's guarding Wendell Carter Jr. has to come away from the paint, right? So is not having a true rim protector okay because it's going to force whoever's team you're playing for their rim protector to come out, and so they get weaker on defense. It's a trade-off. I don't know.
What's his contract, Ron?
Let me see. Wendell. Okay. So he is currently on. This is 22. We're in 24-25. So he is currently making, his cap hit is $11,950,000. $11
million.
And then next year he makes $10,850,000.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we can get him from? He's in Orlando now, right? You think we can get him from Orlando?
I mean,
and what will we offer to get him? Because we have to do it by trade. It's no extra money that we got. We don't have $11 million. We had $11 million that we had already picked up somebody. All these things is taking time because we got to do trades.
Once again, we're in that tricky spot, right? Because he makes 11.9, basically just say 12 million, right? The Knicks have a mid-level exception, and that mid-level exception, which you'd probably have to do a sign and trade once again with Precious. Once again, contract value. How much is the MLE worth? Non-taxpayer mid-level exception is 12. Taxpayer mid-level exception is 5. Room exception is 7. I don't know which one the Knicks have. Let me see if I can get that. Knicks mid-level exception 2024. Oh, wow. So our mid-level exception for 2024-25 is worth $12.9 million. So technically, if you can sign and trade Precious and flip them to get Wendell Carter with a couple picks or something to make it interesting for Orlando, because why the hell would they do it? Maybe you could do that, but you'd have to throw some picks in there to sweeten the pot. And so I would assume you'd have to sign Precious to something less than the 12 million, and then whatever the picks value would add up to the 12 million, so you can make the trade work. Because Wendell Carter Jr. is a lot younger than Precious. I you know, and I don't even know if I don't know what Orlando's doing. I don't know why they would want to trade Wendell. So you know what I mean? So I don't know what they would want. Maybe that wouldn't work. Maybe they'd still want something else, which
and they're in our division. They want a whole lot from the Knicks.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's tough. I just throw him out there because, you know, his name has been mentioned a lot lately. I don't know if that works for me.
Oh, this is funny. There's some scuttlebutt going around now that the state of New Jersey wants to buy the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, saw that. Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be funny.
Yeah, very interesting. And you know what else is interesting? But we don't got to worry about it right now. I won't be happy when it gets there. That's why I want the Knicks to do what they got to do as soon as possible. Either you win this year or you win next year, but let's get it done. You know the NBA is looking to expand, right? And you obviously know that if the NBA expands, that means all the teams in the NBA are going to lose certain players on their roster.
To what, 36 teams or 32?
I'm not sure. I gotta find out a little bit more about it. But I do know that the NBA teams can only protect 8 or 9 players. I think it's 8 players actually. That leaves a lot of people open to get snatched. Just throwing it out there. And believe me, if you got somebody good in your team that's not protected, most likely they're gonna get snatched. So I don't know when they're planning on doing that expansion, but it's just something to keep in mind because that will definitely suck. I remember expansions back in the day, and there was a couple teams that lost some really good players that they were not happy about. They couldn't protect them, but they were like they didn't want to lose them either. Well, that's another thing, but it's not. It's no time soon. It's just, but it's down the line sooner than you think. That's what I'm saying, especially when you have a window of trying to win the championship. So Ecom Joe, what's good? Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Said Knicks fumbled not taking Kyle Filipowski. I mean, you know, listen, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But I see Filipowski has some talent. Yeah, I just think they didn't want to be involved in the scandal, but the guy can play. He's got some talent. There's some negatives to his game too, but maybe the Knicks could have overlooked that with you know the other stuff that they got going on. Oh, okay. That's right, Miguel P. Good point. So, because we're a tax-paying team and we're in New York, that's probably why our mid-level loses value. Well, then that makes it very difficult. And then you wind up being in a situation where Wendell Carter Jr. makes no sense whatsoever because the Knicks do not need to give up a sign and trade of Precious and give up a Deuce McBride for Wendell Carter Jr. Not doing it. That don't make no sense. And you'd have to give up picks. You'd have to make the money work. Nah, that wouldn't make any sense to me. I wouldn't do that if I was the Knicks. So that question is out. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Knicks won today. Like, that's the thing. Ariel and Pacon, you know, they're raw. So I don't know if those are guys that, you know, maybe. You know, the other thing is, like, I know that the Knicks are trying to do something with Pacome, but I don't know if that means he's going to be on the roster as far as being a person who gets any minutes whatsoever. And honestly, just seeing what you've seen in G League so far, Pacome's got some good talent, right? He's quick. He's got great cuts. He knows how to get to the basket, but his shot hasn't been falling. Doesn't mean that won't come later, but it just means he needs more reps. If I had to choose between Pacome right now and Jacob Toppin, I'm taking Jacob Toppin. Just saying. I think Jacob Toppin has just a little bit more value right now to help the Knicks team if they needed it. Will they use it? Probably not. But if they needed it, like say we were into injury issues and we lost our taller guys and we didn't have, I'd much rather go with Jacob Toppin than Pacome at the moment. At the moment. Oh, is that when it is? Knicks? I don't know, bro. All I know is it's not a good look. So I don't know when it's happening. Let me check, man. All right, hold on. NBA expansion. No, that's just something else. This is the NBA deal that they just signed. That $76 million deal. I need the NBA team expansion. So the NBA commissioner says the expansion talks will begin in the fall, right? Doesn't say. Wow, it's been 20 years since the last NBA expansion. Interesting. Time flies, man.
Has it really been almost 20 years since the Pelicans moved to? The Hornets moved to New Orleans and then later became the Pelicans.
Yeah. Yep. With the Charlotte Bobcats, now Hornets. All right, guys. Well, this did not help me at all. It doesn't give me a proposed year for when they think this would happen. But it does say nothing is imminent, but the talks are going to begin this fall. So okay, whatever. Then we don't got to really worry about it right now.
If it were to happen, worst case scenario, we get 6 new teams in the league by that point.
I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know. They've been trying to change the way the NBA does the playoffs for quite some time, but I guess you need more teams to be able to do it the way they want to do it. I don't know. I'm not going to go too crazy with it because I have no clue what their plans are. Shout out to Lou Boogie in the building, by the way. Appreciate you. He said, God help us if Jacob Toppin has to play. Yeah, it is what it is. All right, so Justo asked the question, which brings me to the other thing that I wanted to talk about. He said, what's Kolek's upside comp? I don't know. At the very best, what could Kolek be? Some people have said Mark Price. Some people have said Scott Skiles. Some people have said, but that's not, you can't do that. People just throw names around like John Stockton. John Stockton is the best to ever do it. He holds the assist record, franchise assist record, NBA career assist record. Like, he's a beast. He was a beast, should I say. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, bro. The predicate says Tyler Kolek is like a Goran Dragic. I think Rokas is more like Goran. Very identical to Goran, actually. No. At Kolek's height, he could be way better than Bino Udrich. At his best. Like, if he starts to really knock down the three and get comfortable and learn how to get 2-point shots up, right? With the way he passes the ball, he could be really special. He just got to continue to work on his game. I like that, David Smith. Get the Nets out of here. Nets becoming the Las Vegas Nets would be great. That would be fantastic. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in. 114 people on YouTube, 90 on X, and then the people who have tuned in on Facebook. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here and rocking with us. Please smash that like button if you haven't already done so. We are at currently 99 likes, guys. Can we get one more just to at least hit that 100 like mark? Appreciate you guys. If you haven't already done so, please smash that like button. Definitely helps the show, helps the algorithm, and you know, we need that, man. We need that these days. So let's see here. First off, Mets, who do you prefer? Rokas or Kolek?
I'd say Kolek. Mostly because while Korkis is more of the better scorer from what I've seen, from what little of the summer league I have caught, Kolek has more of the offensive versatility that 2 or 3 guard that backup point guard would need. He can distribute, he can board, he can score, he can swipe, he can do efficient fast breaks.
Yeah. True. I do. I mean, I'm so caught in between those two players because, like I said, it's tough for me to decide who I like more because they both add interesting value. That's why I kind of wish things were different and they could just play together. Like I like the thought of having both of those guys out there at the same time. Like you don't miss anything because one can do what the other can't. And it's just an interesting Batman and Robin duo with those two. Like Kolek is he's so good at passing the ball and finding guys and opening things up. And he can also knock it down, right? Especially once you give him, the opportunities. But then Rokas is so solid. Like he's a solid player. He could give you some defense. He's a klepto. He knows how to steal the ball. You know what I mean? He's got good height. He can also knock it down from all levels of the court. He got a good jumper from the mid-range, from 3, and he's got a nice layup package. He knows how to put the ball behind the back and cross you over and get to the rim, up and unders. Like he's got a nice game. Like it's tough, man. It's tough to figure out who I like more. But like I said, I'd love to see them in a tandem. We got to see. It's going to be interesting. Shout out to Sadhu Bari in the building. What's going on? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you. What's up, Ran Rock? I see you. What's good? Hope you're doing well. Let me see here. Do we have? No. I was going to see if I had Rokas's numbers, but I don't have them because I realized his European numbers aren't that great. They're not that sexy. So I don't want to put that up there because he's better than his numbers dictate. You guys know one thing about Rokas is he plays, for the European team that is very systematic, right? You play your role and that's what you do. They don't want you going out there trying to jack up threes. They don't want you trying to, be the man. They want you to fit into the system, pass the ball, take the open shot when it presents itself. So it's tough to look at those numbers and understand what Rokas is. He's better than what his numbers show. Thank you, Knicks 100. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you to you and to any of the other moderators. Yeah, if you can, you copy and paste the URL when you see fit. If somebody asks for it or something like that, I appreciate it, man. That definitely helps because I'm usually on top of this stuff, but sometimes I get I'm worried about the show and making sure the content is fluid. I can't always pay attention to the chat. That's the reason why they enabled this moderator feature so that the moderators can pick up for the host when the host can't be all the way tuned into that stuff. So I thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yay, we got to the 100 likes. Let's go. Actually, what are we at now? To be exact, we at 107. Yeah, good job, guys. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are appreciated. Yes. Another one. And let's see where we're at. Subscriber wise, we are currently at 2,779 subscribers, on our way to 3K. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. We are, trying to get to 3K by the end of the summer, and then 5K by the end of the year. Thank you for all your support and helping the show. It really does mean something to me, myself, John, Jose, the three amigos, man, the whole squad. And shout out to our social media curator, L. Appreciate you. Yeah, man, we are rocking and rolling. So thank you guys for showing support and always being here rocking with me. Shout out to Al Tango in the building. Yeah, Rokas is more a 2 than a 1. It depends on our needs. Right. That's why I like the combination of both of those guys playing off of each other, man. It's great that we have Deuce here, but sometimes you wish like we could have Rokas and Kolek coming off the bench together. That'd be something special. But it is what it is. We have it's like someone said in the chat. The Knicks have a lot of talent, and it's a good problem to have right now. It really is. We do need to address the big man situation, but we've got a lot of talent. Yeah. That Kennedy kid looked good too, but yeah, he's not gonna get a shot. It just is what it is. You guys know. What's your thoughts, Shah? How do you feel about Rokas and Kolek? Do you like one more than the other, or? Oh, you're on mute.
They have both played very well in summer league. You know what I mean? And I like the style of basketball that Kolek plays. Unselfish type of basketball, always looking. He does this. He did it a couple of times. He gets the ball in front of him and runs to the ball instead of taking the dribble to get to the ball. If that makes sense, like he pushes the ball in front, he takes that extra step so he can get the ball and gather it and either make a pass or try to lay the ball up. Very good at those things. I just think that Kolek, if he does make the roster, he's going to be 13, 14, 15 man on the bench. You know what I mean? And he's going to sit just like what Jokibitis will do. If Jokibitis makes the team, he's going to be 13, 14, 15 play on the bench and may not get too much playing time, depending on if Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, or Cameron Payne gets hurt. So with that being said, I don't see them with big minutes. I think Jokibitis will probably go back to the Euro League and make his money there. Or if we can try to sign him and trade him, maybe he could be someone that we can apply in a trade or something like that if we're trying to acquire somebody else. But I don't see either one of these guys getting any reparable minutes. Yeah, reparable minutes on this team, especially this year.
Yeah. No, I hear you with that, and that's the unfortunate. That's where we're at, and
the only way either of them get reparable minutes is if, and I hate to say this, if Deuce or Brunson go down,
get hurt, right. Get hurt or gets traded. If Deuce gets traded, and then he'll still be Jokibitis or Kolek will still be the third string. You know what I mean, on the roster. Where did all these guards that we got come from? A couple of years ago, we was screaming about, we ain't got no guards, we ain't got no point guards, no guard, we ain't got nobody in the facility. We got like 3 or 4 of them now, and don't know what to do with them.
I mean, what the heck is up with this team? Major identity crisis. 10 years ago, we were complaining about the team being too top heavy at the front line. Too many forwards, too many centers, too many big men. Now it's too many little guys. We're undersized. We're basically constantly playing like a team of. If you remember those the original BattleBot series from Comedy Central 25 years ago, we're playing like a bunch of wedge bots, constantly being too low to the ground to scan and constantly having to play from underneath.
Well, I mean, that's why I think that as much as I like his game and be interesting to see him on this team, I don't think Rokas stays here. I think I mean, Rokas isn't even under contract. We have his rights. Like I don't see it. I don't know how they're gonna do it. And more also, like I said before, Rokas is a professional basketball player, and he ain't trying to be no 14, 15 man on no team.
Right.
He wants to play, and he's already been a professional playing, getting money. So yeah, I just think Rokas is gonna have to go. It stinks, but if you're gonna make a move, and he's okay with it, because I think when you don't have him on the contract, I think you got to kind of reach out to Rokas and Rokas's people, like we would like to trade your rights or so. I don't know how it works. But yeah, I mean, I would rather trade Rokas than worry about Deuce or Kolek if I could, because I think somebody might try to get over on us if they think that Rokas isn't a good addition. Rokas can help a team. I think Rokas is good. I think Rokas is a good player. It just doesn't fit with what we got going on right now.
Probably not.
And we don't have money to really. I don't even know how we could bring Rokas in. How we got the money to sign him? Could we give him a mid-level exception?
I don't
know.
I mean, we
he'll probably
bring Kolek in.
And he would probably come in on one of those contracts that'd be about $3 million. You know what I mean? If they fit it in, it'd probably be a low $3 million or something like that, if that much.
I wonder if I can find that out. That's a little tricky. Let me see. Let me see if it says anything. Oh, maybe it does. I think it's well, this is kind of it's all over the place. Last thing I saw was Jokic in 2021 is earning somewhere around 250,000 euros in his first season. That was 2021. So I don't know.
What does that translate to in dollars?
Well, I mean, the euro was right there with the dollar.
It's about
so
the same, right?
Yeah. So I think, yeah, I mean, if we gave him $3 million, that's an upgraded money. But I don't know. Maybe he feels so. That's the other thing. Like, he's already been a professional for a few years now, since 2021. Maybe he feels like, well, technically before 2021. Remember, we got his rights, but he was already playing for the professional team. So I don't know. Maybe he sees himself being more, because with Rokas, not only do you gotta buy out whatever's remaining with his team to bring him over, then you got to give him. So it might be more than $3 million. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna get all crazy with this. I just think the Knicks need to make a move, get him up out of here, or add him to the team if he wants to be here. But if he don't want to be here and play behind all of these other people ahead of him, then you got to get him out of here. How long are you gonna hold on to this man's rights? Like, how long? I don't get it. Shout out to No Cap, Life's Analyst. He said, I like what I see out of Rokas. His size was a pleasant surprise. I say bring Rokas, Kolek, Washington, and one of the bigs to the roster. I'd rather have too many than not enough. Yeah, I don't know. Dwayne Washington, I just don't think. If Dwayne Washington was taller, if Dwayne Washington was like 6'8", he would be on this squad. Believe me, he would be locked down. He would be on the squad. But since he's another small guard, I just don't think he makes it. We're talking about behind Mikal Bridges, behind Dante DiVincenzo, behind Deuce. I don't see it.
And maybe even behind Tyler if he gets on the main squad.
Yeah, but I'm putting Tyler in the point guard realm. But you're right. As far as minutes goes, yeah, that's another. Yeah, it's just too much. I see. Wow. I don't know. Shout out to Chris Connors. Appreciate you. Said Scap is the answer to the missing backup center spot. Dmitro Skapintsev. Yeah, I mean, maybe he is. My only question about him is we talking about his offense and but I don't see no defense. That's all. I'm
Yeah,
not. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, Ron. He doesn't. He's not a power boxing out guy from the lower part of his body. He lets guys sneak in under him. He does grab rebounds and he does block shots, but he's a rookie-ish. He'll be a rookie-ish. Do we want to go into the playoffs with a rookie-ish style player if Mitchell Robinson is down and he's our only backup? I don't know.
That is a question. Shout out to L. Damon in the building. If Ron and John did a contest for SKF's Army, would y'all do it? That's the question, guys. If we did some type of contest, some type of promotional thing that we ran, would y'all be interested in that? Let us know. Maybe it's time to start doing something a little bit more, and give back to the community. Let us know how you feel about that, y'all. Thank you, L. Knicks only have so Miguel P says the Knicks only have 2 spots left on the 15-man roster and 1 two-way spot left. Interesting. I don't know. Justo says I'm there for the contest. Nice. I don't know. I don't know who we're committed to right now.
I'm gonna hop off.
All right, Mets.
All right, Mets.
I don't know who we're committed to right now, Shaw. I got to look at the actual, because when I looked at ESPN the other day to look at the actual roster, they still had names that aren't. I don't even see them. Like I don't hear nobody mention them. I don't see them in the summer league. I'm like, so I don't. They haven't really updated it.
I'm not 100% sure either, but I think our regular 9, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, Jericho Sims, DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, and after that, the guy that they signed that I keep bringing his name up, funny name guy,
Diop.
Not Diop. Diop.
Well, Diop's on the contract too, though.
Right, Diop. Right, Bates Diop. Yeah, Bates.
Yeah, Bates Diop.
Yeah, Bates Diop. And what's that 9 right there? So, I don't know. I don't know who else is on. Oh, did I say Payne? Payne. That was the 10-man roster right there.
That would be 10 right there. So that's 10. Then we got 15. So we need 5 more. I don't know. Does Jacob Toppin automatically? Jacob Toppin was on a 2-way, but does he still have? Is he still under a 2-way? I don't remember what the 2-way stipulation was. It a year? Was it 2? I don't remember. I don't know, guys. We'll find out. We'll get a little bit more clarity as we get closer to this NBA season, but I'm not sure who is actually under roster. Well, Kolek.
Kolek.
Kolek is on the roster.
He's definitely
paid
signed.
him.
I didn't say Deuce. Did I say Deuce? I think I said Deuce.
You said Deuce.
I said Deuce. So that's 11.
So that's 11. Yeah, that's when it gets a little tricky. I'm not sure.
Right, because I didn't hear them with Papa. They didn't sign him yet. I think he's going to have a 2-way contract. And the other center, right?
Yep, that's 12. Huck Porty got a 2-way.
So I'm a little sketchy about that too. I thought we were close to 14, at least making the roster obligations, but I'm still a little iffy about who's in the 2-way, who's here. We still haven't heard anything about Junior McCullough Jr. If what they're gonna do with him and stuff like that. He's gonna be on the 2-way, or what they're gonna do with him. I don't know what they're gonna do with him. They're gonna send him on the bench and give him a little contract just to fill the spot, because I think he's still hurt. I don't know.
Right. I don't know. You're right. Mega says, knowing Ron, it'll be a dance-off. Hey. How's that? No?
Man, don't do the wave. I do it too. Make me break it down now.
Speaking of that, whoa, dope. The art man, formerly known as Steve, said, I'll make some art for the prize, Ron. That'd be dope, bro.
Wow.
It's all coming together. It's all coming together. I like that, bro. That would be fantastic. L agrees. Appreciate you, L. That's right. Let me see. Interesting. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Sims, his job is in jeopardy. Yeah, no, this is it. I'm sorry if I haven't said this before. This is Sims' year, make or break year. This is how we find out whether he becomes a staying part of this team or after this season they let him go. Now, the part that's always interesting, which works for a guy like Sims, is the Knicks always find themselves in money restraints, right? So a guy that you can bring back on the cheap just to fill a spot for a bigger body in Sims works. So Sims might not be make or break because as long as the Knicks are a little cash strapped and they always need to kind of fill a roster spot with a body that might work as far as having a power forward guy, he might always have a moment where he can be a part of this team. You never know. It's only because of his value. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even talk about it no more. Knicks won today. When it happens, it happens. I think we've exhausted it. We've talked so much about this cat stuff that and it's also lost some traction. It's not like it's everywhere anymore. It was brought up, it hit the buzz. We were all talking about it, and it's kind of died down. So unless it resurfaces, I ain't even worried about it for now. Which is the same thing that goes to like the dude from Utah. I'm not going to be thinking about that center over there. That Danny Ainge wants a lot, and I mean, even though the guy is good, he definitely is solid, rebounding, and blocking shots. He's not perfect either. So let's not go crazy, trying to figure out how we're going to make this work. If it happens, it happens. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Coach. Because I kind of forgot about him, and I'm glad you brought it up because I'm wondering what's going on with that. What is happening with McCullough, bro? I don't know, Sha. Have not heard anything about McCullough. We know he wasn't healthy enough to play for Summer League yet.
I haven't heard not one word about him because he's hurt. I mean, and the type of player that he is, he would probably fit real nice on the Knicks. But, in essence, we still have someone that plays that style of like basketball and Toppin. You know what I mean? So who knows? I haven't heard a word about him.
That's the thing, bro. Like healthy, McCullough is somebody that I think Tom Thibodeau would love having on the bench.
Yeah. Could score the basketball, gritty like Josh Hart, grab rebounds, could push the pace, and pass the ball a little bit. Yeah. For the future, yeah, that's something. He's something special. And he's one of those guys that'll be 13, 14, 15 man on the roster, for further years to come. Or if something happens to one of your guys that you need to pull somebody from your your third stint, your third lineup. You know what I mean? Not your first, second, your third lineup. That 11th man to 10th man to the 15th man. I mean, that's 6 people. 11 to the 15th man. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he's a big not knowing what he's. We haven't seen him. Only thing we've seen is what he has done in Kansas, from Kansas. You know what I mean? What's going to happen with him and what they're going to offer him. Is he signed? I'm not even signed. I don't even know if he signed. If they sign him, what they're going to sign him with? A couple $100 million. I mean, a couple $100,000 or something like that. $1 million or something like that.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, I mean, but maybe the situation is because he is hasn't signed as of yet, and he health issues. He's not quite ready. Maybe that allows the Knicks to get a little bit more of a discount in signing him right now. So I think the Knicks are just waiting until. Because one thing they don't want to do is put anything else on this cap that prohibits them from getting players that are going to help this team right now.
Right.
You're right. Yeah. So they try to take care of their business first before dealing with McCullough. You can kind of see that. So we'll see where that goes. Shout out to New York Sports Chalk in the building. What's good? Good to see you once again. Says Sims is good, but more suited as a third backup center. It's unrealistic to rely on a young player with no playoff pressure experience. That's a fact. And he's just so raw with regards to his emotional capabilities. Like, you know, he doesn't show that dog. A guy like that who's such a specimen with that leaping ability, but the size, big arms. You think you'd be like pushing guys out. Like, this is my paint. He don't give you that. He don't give off the vibe. So I don't know.
I mean, I say this because I just trying to run this trade into the hole. Sims will look good over there with Trae Young. You talking about alley-oops, going to the basket and stuff like that. He would look a little better over there. You know what I mean? Not taking anything away from Jalen Brunson, but he doesn't he even said he's not the best of throwing alley-oops. He can if he's wide open, but on the right side, he doesn't. The left side, if he see you, he can throw it up with the left hand. On the right side, not too adept. At least what he said.
Right.
I'm not saying it for myself. He said.
Right. I hear you. Shout out to Jarvis Williams in the building. Salute, Jarvis. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Said Jalen Bridges. So Jalen Bridges, OG, Mitch, Randall, Dante Hart, Deuce, Kolek, Sims, Payne, Dadier, Huckporty, and Toppin. So that's 14 is where you're. Oh yeah, Dadier got
14?
money too. Dadier got signed. Dadier got money too. So Dadier makes up another spot. I don't know.
All right, there you go. That's 14 right there. Then we made the roster requirements of getting 14 players, and we still have players. There's 3 players that I think, if I'm not mistaken, 3 can go into the two-way, right, into the G League.
Yep.
So we pretty okay then.
So 3 can go into the two-way. Huckporty is a two-way though. Huckporty is a two-way.
Is a two-way counted to the roster?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah, man, good question, right? I can't.
Let me double check that right now.
Now that we're talking about it, I never even paid attention to it. Are they equated to be in roster spots, or they're the 3? Because I know there's 3 positions that you can have open for the G League. I think it's 3. I think it went up to 3. It used to be 2. I think it's 3 now. But are those 3 players? I don't know.
Yep. Oh, okay. Well, that makes it different. Two-way players are not officially a part of the 15-man roster.
15-man
Each
roster.
NBA team, in addition to their 15 right? normally allocated rosters, is allowed 3 two-way contracts per season.
So we got to look and see who's going to be the 3 people that go down. Is it going to be Toppin, Hortier, and Poppy? I always mess his name up.
Oh, Pacome. No, well,
Pacome.
Let me see something. Let me check. Pacome, Dadier. Let's see. No, he signed the regular contract.
Oh, he's on. Okay, so that's
he's on a regular. He's on a 4-year deal. 2 years guaranteed with the last 2 are club options. So he's going to be making 18 million this 18 million, 1.8 million this year and 2.8 next year. Right. 1.8 this year and 2.8 next year. Then he's got club options for 2.9 and 5 million by the year 2027, 28. We'll see if he gets there. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, so we know he's one of the 13, 14, 15 man. Or 12, right, 13, so 14. Yeah, 12, 13, 14, 15. One of those.
So he's not a two-way. So that means, right now, well, let me see if it tells Perte. Yeah. Huckporty is definitely a two-way. I know that already, but I don't know if they've given out any others.
Isn't Toppin the two-way, or is he on the?
He was this current year, but I don't know if he is next year.
Right. Okay.
Okay. This is a NBA two-way tracker. NBA players signed to two-way contracts. All right. Let's see, and see if they even updated this. The Knicks. Yeah, see, this ain't updated. We got Dwayne Washington Jr., Charlie Brown Jr., and Jacob Toppin. That's last year.
Yeah, that's last year.
Oh well,
two of those three ain't there no more.
Yeah, we can't. So can't tell you yet, guys. So I mean, we'll pay attention to that. But that gives us some more flexibility. We understand now that we have 15-man roster plus 3 2-ways. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Shout out to AP. I think I said what's up to you, but if I didn't, what's up, brother? 5 Adam in the building said, Cat is better than Randall. Why would the Wolves make that trade? We've talked about that too. Cat is somewhat better than Randall as far as efficiency. But when you look at the numbers, the actual other stats, the points, rebounds, assists, stuff like that, steals, blocks, they're very comparative between the two. Obviously, Cat can block shots better than Randall, but steals and rebounds and points and assists, they're right there. Like, actually, Randall assists, I think he has one more assist, than him on average. He scores more points than him on average, and he rebounds more than him on average this past year. Like, Cat was around 8 rebounds. Randall was close to 10. He was 9 point something. Points, Cat averaged 21 points this past year. Randall averaged 24 points. Assist, I said he had one more assist than him on average. He had 5 assists, and I think Cat was around 3 or 4 around there. So yeah, I mean, they're a lot closer than you think. Just Cat is much more efficient. Like, he knocks it down at a really good clip from 3, from 2, and from the free throw line. He's better at that as far as efficiency. So, but defensively, I think they're very similar. I don't think Randall's issue is he can play defense, but he doesn't always give that same effort on defense that he does on offense. And then I think that might be the same case for Towns, because Towns can play defense too, and he just doesn't look as defensive minded as you would think he would be. At least now, especially when he started in the league, he was a better defender. All right. Poppy King says these rookies going to be a lot better with playing time by time playoff comes, especially if they're doing what they need to do. Fair. That's fair. That's a fair point. Organic Fanatics show in the building. What up, Real? Good to see you, my brother. Okay, what's happening? Eddie F is in the building. What's up, Ron? Sorry I'm late. Yes, Daddy got a roster spot proper, but for 80% of his max, for 80% of max for his slot. Okay, yeah, but he's not on a 2-way. That's interesting. What if the Knicks gave Scap one of the 2-ways? That's interesting. I don't know if he qualifies for a 2-way because of, it's also about how much time you've been in the league too. I think I don't know if everybody just qualifies for a 2-way, but that's interesting if they can do that. Westchester's gonna be, Westchester looks like they're gonna have a nice little squad. And they don't talk about it, but you guys remember years ago we won the G League tournament with one of our teams when we had I forgot the coach. What was his name? I forgot his name already. Man, my memory's trash. New York Sports Chuck says, to bring up another point, I love Randall, but his shoulder injury is a big concern. There's a high possibility of re-injury given his style of play. It's something we need to keep in mind. That's fair. I think that's something that the Knicks keep in mind. Now, I almost forgot. Man, I said, on Saturday, I'm going to talk about this, and I almost forgot. I don't want to make a big deal about this, guys, because I don't think it's fair, right? I don't think it's fair to either party. But you guys, if you've been paying attention to Knicks Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, there was a little bit of going back and forth this past week between a person in the Knicks Twitter community. That's all I can call it. I'm not calling it the Knicks X community. It is what it is. With regards to Ian Begley, you guys are familiar with Ian Begley. He's covered the Knicks for many years now. He's the main sports beat writer for the New York Knicks. And so in one of his mailbag episodes, I don't think it was mailbag with Bleacher Report or some other, I don't want to, not give them credit, but I think it was Bleacher Report, but I could be wrong. In the mailbag, he talked about different things surrounding the Knicks team. And one of the things he brought up was the fact that there is somebody in the Knicks organization that does not necessarily feel that Julius Randle is a good fit for this current Knicks team. So obviously someone in Knicks Twitter felt the way about it, and it became a whole big thing. He called Ian Begley out for it, saying that if somebody's going to say that, he should reveal his source. Don't just throw something out there and not tell who said it. First off, who the hell does that? As a reporter, whoever tells their sources? Come on.
That's like snitching. It's like snitching.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. And nobody expects you to do that. How you gonna get the source again? Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, how you gonna get the source again?
It's just crazy. It is what it is. And first off, we making a big deal about it, or you're making a big deal about it. Do you think this is the first time that somebody in the front office felt one way about Julius Randle and somebody felt differently? Julius has been with this team for like 4 years now, 5 years or whatever it is, 4 going on 5.
Yeah.
You think people haven't felt a different way, especially with the thumbs down and everything that's happened with Julius? You don't think there's been somebody on one side that's liked Julius and somebody on another side that hasn't liked him up until this point? I'm sure that's already happened. So the fact that somebody feels that way right now, what's the big deal? It's always going to happen with a player. In a front office, there's going to be players that some guy on one side likes and the other guy on the other side doesn't like. That's why they have these meetings, conversations, and they work it out to figure out how they can make it work. How does this fit this team? I'm sure this has already come up before. So the fact that it's coming up now, it doesn't shock me and it's not surprising. So I'm not, it is what it is. It's not no big deal. If I'm Leon Rose, and I've already talked about this, so I don't want to be a broken record. But once again, I have to be a broken record because this is, we're having a conversation. You're going to have to pay attention to Julius Randle. You're going to have to see what he looks like in your training camp, in your practice, going into the preseason. In the preseason, you're going to have to monitor what he looks like out there. Does he look like his former self? Can he take contact? Can he be aggressive, right? You're also going to give him the same thing that you gave him last time. This past year, if you guys remember, to start the season, coming off of that ankle injury, the surgery that he had, Julius Randle did not look good at all. He couldn't buy a shot. He didn't know where to move. He did not look like Julius Randle. He looked bad. We were like, yo, what's going on with Julius Randle? He was still recovering from the ankle injury. So he didn't look good. But then once he started to get comfortable, all of a sudden, what happens? He's averaging 24 points, almost 10 rebounds, 5 assists. He's all NBA, and he's an all-star while only playing 42 games or 43 games, whatever it was, 44 games, I think. So you got to be patient with this guy and give him a chance to get back to where he is. He has been playing basketball on that stage in a little while. Shout out to Kaiser Soze in the building. What's going on, Kaiser? Good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a minute. I hope you're doing well. Hope the family's doing well. Yes, please press those little emojis, guys. Press that heart emoji for the show if you can. Obviously, it helps. Like I said, it helps the algorithm. They like to see that stuff, and it shows support for the show. Thank you, guys, man. Let's get some hearts up there. Cat's contract is an issue. Yes, it is.
And you know, Ron, a lot of people talk about the Cat's contract, and if you really look at the contract, well, what we would be giving out, his contract would kind of fall into the cap. You know what I mean? We're giving up Mitchell Robinson, or more than likely it would be Mitchell Robinson. More than likely it'll be Julius Randle, and maybe Deuce McBride to put the cherry on top. And with those three contracts together, you know, Julius is going to be making 30. Mitch going to be 14. That's 44. Deuce is $3 million. That's 47. You know, I think Cat is somewhere around next year $50 million. So it's kind of close to what can fit into the contract. You know, fit into the bad thing about it, fit into the cap. But the bad thing about it, we're giving up 3 of our rotational players for 1 player. So we will be back down 2 players now. And I don't think we will have any exceptions left to gather any other players. You know, no, unless that's the second apron thing or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, none of that. But I know the money that will be going out would be about the same money that we would be bringing in. You know, that money that from if the players that are going out will be the same amount of money that we will be giving Cat. So the money would still be roughly around the same amount of money this year for Cat.
Yeah. So yeah, he's scheduled to make this year $49 million.
Yeah, 49. It will be 47 if we give up those players. Plus, I guess they would give up, you know, some second rounders or something like that to make the money, because they would want to give up more money to get back, so they wouldn't have to get back any money, or however that saying goes. You know, you want to give out more money than you would have to take back your money, because it'll help your cap.
Right. Yeah, so that's the thing. It's interesting, and it's like the other thing is you're also trading discounted contract players for a guy who is not on a discount. Like if anything, he's looking to get paid, getting paid some nice money going forward. Yeah, it's not about getting him at this point what he's making, the $49 million. We can figure out a way to get there. It's just about when you get Cat in here, he's also doing extension, and that is big money. That's the thing. Are you prepared to give him that big money, especially if Cat comes here and he is not the answer?
But
Cat's he's gonna be a good player.
Isn't he on a contract already? Don't he have like 2 or 3 years left on his contract?
So I'm still kind of confused about this, because nowhere does it say it. So it shows Cat's numbers going forward. It shows money, right? It shows like 53 next year. It shows 57 the year after that, and it shows 61 million 27-28 as a player option. I don't know. Did I miss it? Did he sign an extension with Minnesota? Because
I think that's the contract that he's on now, because his money, if we bring him over, his money would be guaranteed almost. So the 2 years that we will have him, the 3rd and the 4th year, this year, if we got him this year and next year, we will have to pay him. But the year after that, I think it's a team option and then it's a player option, or maybe it's the player option and then a team option or something like that. I think the last 2 years, I think it's 4 more years that he got. I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I think
so. It looks like he's guaranteed. If this is the case that he did sign an extension, I guess I must have missed it. Whatever. I don't know. It says 2024-25, 49 million, 2025-26, 53 million, 2026-27, 57, and then there's a player option in 2027-28 for 61.
Player option. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shout out to Jet Life for Life. Appreciate you. What's going on? Good to see you. Says salute, Ron. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong. I hate when it sounds like I don't want people to think that Cat, like I wouldn't want Cat on this team, or that Cat is not a good player. It's just Cat is meow meow mix, man. There's something about him. It concerns me, bro. I'm concerned. I don't know. Like if he comes to New York, what I want for Cat is I want Cat to come to New York and be gritty. Like, understand what it takes to be a New York Knick and what we need from him, right? But I don't want him to be fake either. I don't want him to come in and think he's got to be some type of tough guy, because, you know, that ain't going to work either. You just got to know the balance. You got to know when you come to New York, we just expect you to play hard. That's it. Don't get bullied and pushed around. Play hard. Show that you are 7 feet. And that's it. That's it. You don't got to be, you know, Marcus Morris. I don't need you to be Patrick Beverly or PJ Tucker. That's not you. Just come here, be physical, be strong, impose your will when you're in the paint, and then knock it down the way you knock it down. That's what I would want from Cat, but I haven't always seen that from Cat, even with Minnesota. So I'm just not sold on it. That's it. That's all. So I don't know who he's talking to. Who are you talking to, Nick Yak? I'm confused.
My brother, Divine in the building.
Hey, listen, I hear you, Knicks 100. I don't necessarily have an issue with that dude, but I'm not all through X or Twitter, whatever. It's not about whether he says certain things that make sense. Him asking for a reporter to give up their source because he doesn't think that what the source said is fair to Julius Randle and his family, that ain't gonna do it, man. That's all it is. That's just not something you do. It don't work. You can't. That ain't gonna happen. And it's not like Julius Randle has been mentioned in trade talks since he's been a Knick. You guys know that, right?
Right.
Every year he's been mentioned in trade talks. You think that don't affect his family? You think that what happens when in the organization where somebody feels a certain way about you, there's one person. They said there's somebody in the organization that doesn't feel that Julius Randle who cares? That every year somebody's looking to trade Julius Randle. He's still here though. It don't matter. You think this is bad? I mean, and if New York, see, you put his name out there. Now I'm putting his name out there. I didn't want to do that. But if he was here in the chat, I'd tell him the same thing. You think this is bad? You don't think it was worse when he had to deal with the thumbs down year? Everybody was coming for Julius Randle. He survived that, yo. He good. I ain't even stressing it. I wouldn't worry about it.
Julius survived the Tasmanian Devil Randle. He survived the thumbs down Randle. And so, you know, everybody's been talking about, we got to get rid of him. Him and RJ can't blend together. He can't do this and blah, blah, blah. He's still here. And I think he's not going to sign anything this year to next year. So they figure out what they're going to do. And then he'll make that contract extension. He's still going to get that contract extension next year. He doesn't have to sign it this year, I think.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I said, we'll see. I don't even want to talk about Cat, to be honest. Yeah. I don't even want to talk about Cat right now. Not until something serious happens. This is the same way I felt about Donovan Mitchell. After that summer, we didn't get him. I don't even really want to talk about Donovan Mitchell. Let's just move on.
Yeah, how many
until
years
something real happens,
Cat, right?
I'm good. I ain't worried about it. It is what it is, y'all. Yeah, that's true too, Deron Wayne. Dolan does like Julius Randle. You ain't lying. He's one of his more well-liked players on this New York Knicks team. Plus the fact that he came here and took that $18 million 2-year deal when no one else was really coming here.
Right.
Dolan probably appreciated that. Yeah. Five Adams says, I believe it's a good source. Yeah. Oh, no doubt. I don't question that. I like I said, I believe somebody said it. Somebody does believe it, but it don't matter. There's always going to be, there's people right now on this team, I mean, in this front office, that you don't think that once they signed Jalen Brunson to that $106 million, somebody was like, you sure you want to give him $106 million? You don't think there was somebody in the front office that was questioning giving Jalen Brunson the money before we got to see what Jalen Brunson was here? Like, there's going to be somebody. That's the point of getting different perspectives and hiring the right people that give you different ideas. You want somebody to feel like, are we making the right move? You don't want to have a bunch of yes men. You want to have people that feel like maybe we should go in a different direction. And you want to be able to say, well, I think we could do it this way. And so this is what allows a front office to be a good front office. You don't want everybody agreeing. You want people to feel different opinions. So I think this is fine, guys. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. And I think, once again, I already said it, I think Randall has been through worse. I don't think what's going on with this affects his family at all. Randall has dealt with worse in his time being a Knick. And I think he's got some tough skin. So I think he's fine.
He already expressed that too in that interview he was on with Melo and I can't remember this guy's name. Melo and the other guy. He was on there and he said coming to New York is different than being in Texas. I mean, and he had to basically, he didn't say it, but I'm saying I'm ad-libbing. He had to grow up, and he had to grow up in a Knicks uniform, for these last couple of years that he's been here, and he has done it. Aside, if he wouldn't have got hurt last year, who knows what could have happened. And I mean, we talk about he was only shooting 31% from three-point land, but he didn't finish the season. He could have got that up to 35, 36% by the end of the season. I mean, that was only a small caveat from him from October to January, December, January, whenever he got hurt. I mean, that was the segue, his 31%. He could have got that up to 35, 36% before the end of the season. I mean, it could have carried us and helped us, in the playoffs. I mean, but if was a fifth.
Right. I mean, it's just a lot of that going on, man. I just think that we should be very happy with this squad that we got, and very happy in the fact that, there's players here that want to be here. There's other players around the league that are looking at us and like, Nick's got something cooking over there. I wouldn't mind being over there. You know what I mean? Like, we just at that point right now where we're just in a much better position. And we got some good problems to have. They are problems though, but they're good problems to have. We'll see. I mean, the other thing too is like, usually an NBA center is not necessarily the barometer for winning an NBA championship. I think there was some poll or something that went around a couple of years ago that looked at a lot of teams that have won the NBA championship, and a lot of it was due to good guard play or good wing play. It wasn't about a center. Now with Boston, you could say they did have, Porzingis, who was a center, but we already talked about it with them. They've won a lot of games when Porzingis wasn't out there with them, and he wasn't the focal point of their offense. It was usually Tatum or Brown, and then Porzingis was a really good complementary piece. So does it help? Yes, but is it the requirement? No. As long as you can, maximize from the rest of what you got going on, I mean, you could be in a good spot. So I don't know. It's interesting. I just don't think we shouldn't overthink it, because we got a good squad, and we've already shown we can do some really good things out there if healthy. So I'm just saying, like, let's be patient with our Knick team, and hopefully they continue to make the right moves, because already it's looking good. I like what we got going on. That's how I feel about it. I'm not going to go too crazy about it. So where are we at now? 3 o'clock. We're at the 3 hour mark, 3 hours and 17 minutes. The New York Knicks, once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, the New York Knicks have qualified for another Summer League game today at 6 p.m. versus the Atlanta Hawks. At 6 p.m. on ESPN. So with regards to this Summer League game, Shah, is there anything you want to see? Are you interested in anything? Because you saw 4 games already with these young players. How do you feel going into a 5th game?
I think they're going to go out and play hard. They always start the game off real good. They start lagging in the second half, third and fourth quarters to give up, relinquish some of the lead. But they've been pretty resilient the last 2 games. I think they're going to do something similar. The big caveat for me is I wish we could see Toppin out there a little bit today, if he wasn't hurt. That's the only downside of this thing. Like I said about Kolek, he's on the roster. I don't know. I don't think Jokic is going to be here, and everybody else that we signed is going to be either one on the roster and two in the G League, or two in the roster and one in the G League. So, that's the bottom line. And I think Scappa still probably make it down to the G League. He was our G League player last year. He was our center last year. So I think they'll sign him to I guess a smaller contract to maybe play for the Westchester Knicks. And someone maybe we could call up in a 10-day contract if we really needed to.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, shout out to Dorcosaurus Rex. Good to see you. Center is a thankless job. It's true. Nick Yak said old man Horford was center. Okay. Well, I mean, either way. So, I mean, that just says that you do not have to have, the best possible answer at center in order to win a championship. Yeah. Miguel P says if Randall isn't taking the $181 million, I hope he has a handshake deal to be signed at the end of the season for like 200 over 5. Maybe. I mean, that's all. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Randall took another discount, but we're gonna have to pay him some money if they want to keep him here because he has taken discounts already. So I don't know. That's
I mean, I always say this stupidly, but Julius Randle already has made with the Knicks $125 million, and they extended for another $180 million. That would be a 10-year contract. You're looking at over $250 million or so, and your 10 years of being a Knick, that's not shabby. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not big a big of mark like these guys in Boston that got $55 million a year, and or what Cat is getting and stuff like that. But over the course of the years that he has been here, he would have equated about almost $300 million. You know what I mean? A quarter of $1 billion. So let that sink in. And not to make his pockets and not like that. You know what I mean? But let that sink in.
I hear you. It's not bad at all. But the only thing is, like, sometimes when you're a professional player, you got an agent that works for you.
Right.
They're looking at all the stuff, and they're saying, okay, well, he's due this type of money. But let's not forget, I mean, he's also a 2-time All-NBA, 3-time All-Star. So them accolades start to add up, and you're like, oh, well, you're right. So, I don't know. He might be looking at that and saying, I'll take a discount, but that discount better be a lot higher. My money overall is a lot higher than you think. So we'll see. Shout out to last week. I apologize. Shout out to my guy Will Salkin, who bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com. And thank you, man. He said, happy Saturday, Ron. Let's go Summer League squad. Yeah, this was last Saturday. It happened in the midst of the day, so I couldn't really comment on it then, but I said I would definitely reach out and say something about it this week. So thank you so much, Will. Appreciate you. You may not be here to see this now, but I just wanted to make sure I acknowledged you anyway. And once again, I want to acknowledge everybody. Thank you guys for all the super chats and the the buy me a coffees, or if you decide to become a member of Still Knick Fans by hitting that join button, it definitely does help. And I want you to know that your effort towards that does give to the show, and I try to give back with improving on what we got going on. You guys have heard me already speak about it in the past. I'm not so happy with some of the things I got with my current setup. The mic sounds good, but it's time for an upgraded mic. It's going to cost it's a pretty penny. It's because I have to buy the mic, and I also have to buy a mixer for the mic, and that stuff costs money. So when you guys give those super chats and things, it helps me be able to put more money aside to get that type of stuff. So I'm actively working towards improving on systems and changing things up. And the first thing of that, I want to thank you guys for your super chats and your generosity with regards to whatever you give, is a camera. And that camera you guys should be seeing very soon. We'll be, I've complained about this camera all the time. Finally was able to get a new camera. And I think you will see a better quality and how the show looks. So we'll see going forward. Hopefully, as long as it's like right now, I ain't gonna front. The picture is good. It's just that it don't stay here. I move around and it starts to get all crazy. But this is like probably the best the picture has been in quite some time. So you know what I mean? You ever heard like when you got an animal like a pet, especially a dog, because dogs are pretty smart. When you're talking about the dog and like the dog, you could tell the dog knows you're talking about them. It's like the camera knows I'm getting rid of this camera. It's like, you know what? Let me work today. Yeah. So yeah, but that type of stuff, definitely helps. And I try to, give back to the show as best as I can, because I know that's what it's really for. You know what I mean? If I can get everything better, I will try to do that. And eventually, maybe we'll start streaming in 1080p. But right now it's all funky because with YouTube, you could be streaming in 1080p, but then it gets converted to 780 or whatever anyway. I don't know, 780, 720, whatever. I don't know, something like that. So we'll see. We'll keep working, man. We'll keep working. But anyway, I want to thank you, NYC B-Ball, for your generous contribution. Thanks again for the content, my guy. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for always supporting and really just always being here and rocking with us, man. Like I said, this show is a safe place for me to be able to talk New York Knicks, but it's nothing without you guys being able to chop it up together. Like if I didn't have you guys here, what would be the point of me being here? I'd be talking, by myself. Hey guys, I love the Knicks. You guys make the show, man. So I appreciate you guys, and also the fact that I get people to join me like Shah, and Mets and Double A and whoever else pops up, man. I really appreciate, and then Phil for joining us today. Shout out to Phil on the road joining us. Appreciate you, Phil. Yep. Pew pew. There you go. Contest and fun stuff coming. Don't forget to subscribe. That's what L says, and I believe it. The camera knows I'm in the chat. Yeah. That's right, Divine. Yeah, man. So yeah, we're gonna keep continuing to try to make the product better. And shout out to all y'all as well, because we are currently up to 2,783 subscribers. We picked up some more today, folks. So thank you guys on the road to 3K. That's our goal for the end of the summer. And thank you for all your support on the road to 5K by the end of the year. So we'll keep going, man. Appreciate you, Cody. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. We keep growing. We keep glowing. So let me just see if I could pull up, because I don't even know who Atlanta has. Let me do this real quick before we get out of here, Shah. And check out what Atlanta's roster looks like for the Summer League. Have you followed any Atlanta stuff in the Summer League this year?
No.
Yeah, I don't even know who they got going on over there.
If you ask me about the Knicks, I probably only know 6 players on the roster that's playing in the Summer League. All those other guys, I can't even mention some of their names.
No, this is the worst place to go for Summer League content. Damn NBA site, out of all places. Okay. Hawks released their roster. What's their roster looking like? All right. So let's just take a look at what they got going on here. Let's share the screen. All right. Skip this ad. Get up out of here, ad. Man, there we go. Okay. Hopefully everybody can see that. Who are these people? Miles Norris, Kobe Buffkin, Nikola Durisic, or Durisic. I don't know. Jordan Bowden. He Bowden. Zachary Richard. Oh, that's the is he the number 1 pick?
Is he? I forgot they picked up the number 1 pick. You just said it.
I forgot. He's either number 2 or number 1. I forget if it's him or SARS. I don't know. I don't remember, guys. Jarkel Joyner, Emmett Matthews Jr., Muhammad, you got me on this one. Muhammad Gui, Guy, I don't know. Oh, look at this. Dylan Windler's there. I remember him. Keaton Wallace, Moses Wood, Nick Onjinda, and Rob Baker II. I don't know a lot about these guys. I mean, I guess we should be following this Zachary Risache. I don't know, guys. The French pronunciation, I do not know this one. But I know he's a top 2 pick. Whether he was number 1 or number 2, I think he was number 2. So yeah, that's their summer league squad right there. I wonder if it tells me summer league records. Whoa, that'll happen there. Let's check this out. NBA Summer League standings. All right. So the New York Knicks are 2-2. They're right at the middle of the pack. The Atlanta Hawks are 0-4. Oh boy. So now there's a little bit of pressure there. The Knicks cannot lose to Atlanta. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, it is what it is, guys. That's what it's looking like. That's who the Knicks are playing, and at 6:00 today on ESPN. Okay. All right. Appreciate you, Danny Landers. Thank you for being here and rocking with us. Yeah, they have research. Man, I'm done. I ain't gonna try. I can't get it. I can't. If I can't see it, I can't pronounce it. Thank you, boss. Appreciate you. We're on the road. Thank you, Dorcosaurus Rex. It's pronounced Risache. That's not hard at all. Risache. I can say that. I'm working with it. Okay. See, this is why the chat is important. Education is key, folks. Yes. 808 Empire State, Risache. Yeah, that's not bad at all. I can rock with that. Shout out to Jean-Marc in the building. Yeah, we had that game. It's true. Shout out to Riley21. Salute. What's good? Appreciate you. Yeah, Risache. Yeah, it's done. I got it now. We good. Yeah, man. So I'm excited to see. To be honest, what I would love to see today is if Jacob Toppin is healthy enough to play. I would love to see Jacob Toppin playing, but I don't think he is. I don't know if he is. So, I honestly today I would be if I was. I don't know what the Knicks want to do because they haven't really done it. If you guys have been paying attention to Knicks Summer League in the past, the Knicks usually has switched it up. They have not switched it up so far this year. So what I would like to see today, I would actually like to see Rokas starting. I would like to see Rokas running the point and see what he can do coming out the gate. But I don't know if they're going to do that. I honestly think that Dwayne Washington Jr. has shown enough to me and the rest of the league that the guy can score. If you want somebody off the bench who can score the ball, go get yourself a little Dwayne Washington Jr. I don't think we need to see more. If I was the Knicks, I wouldn't even play Dwayne Washington Jr. today. But that's me. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I would rather see these other guys and see what they got to offer. And not only would I rather start Rokas, I would start Rokas over Kolek to see what Rokas can do as the guy running the show for the most part. I would also feature Dadier. Once again, I'm back to figuring out what the hell's going on with Dadier's shot. Let's get this kid's confidence going. Let's get him right. Because that's the difference between Dadier dropping 20-plus points in a summer league game. It's just him getting his shot going from 3. If he can get his shot going, he could drop that easy.
Spot. You're right.
He can get that easy. But yeah, I would like them to work with him and build him up. And also, you know what? Huck Porty, if he's out there, another double-ish type game from him would be nice too. Just show that level of consistency. That's what he can do. He can continue to support them, and he could be a center by committee option if that's the way they want to go. Oh, okay, cool. So you're from Morocco. You're so he says I'm Moroccan. We speak fluent French. That's dope. Je m'appelle Rome. That's all I got. Yeah. When I was in school, I was so excited. Le plume. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's a pen? Yeah. That's all I got. Anyway, know the ledge indeed. See? Know the ledge. You get it? Knowledge. You know what I mean? Come on, y'all. This is what we're here for. Yeah, man. I appreciate all you guys. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. I think that's a good stopping point. I want to thank everybody for being here, showing up and rocking with us. Once again, I appreciate everybody who supports the show, supports Still Knicks fans and everything we got going on. The super chats monetarily, that helps with the buy me a coffees and joining, becoming members. That is fantastic. As I said, we are looking to expand on our membership base. Join the SKF Army. You will get exclusive content going forward as soon as we can build it up. We want to get to a certain point so that way we can offer content to people, because we don't want to, you want to support and give to people that have paid their money to be members, but you also don't want to alienate. I wouldn't want to just, hey, there's a special show and we're going to be talking about this for like 3 people, and then the rest of everybody misses out. You know what I mean? I would want it to be a good amount of people, at least maybe 10 or so more like that, who are members to people that are active that show up, because I want to be able to do something good for everyone. And once again, shout out to Elle, who mentioned in the chat, we are also looking to, have some contests for some giveaways and stuff for the SKF Army. So stay tuned. We'll figure it out. We'll work something out where we hopefully will have something nice for you guys. And we've already got a little sneak peek of the art man, formerly known as Steve, saying that he will donate a nice piece of art. So that's pretty dope. He's very talented, guys, if you don't know. Yeah, man. So final words, Sha?
Salute to you. Salute to the family in the chat. Me and Devon will probably be on today around 6. I think the game is what time? 7 today?
No, it's at 6.
6, so we'll be on at about 5. Check us out. Knicks Real Talk. Let's get it.
There you go. Once again, I want to shout out to all you guys in the chat. Once again, we're like the little engine that could, and you guys definitely keep us going, man. Remember, this show is like, it's a safe place for us all to come here and talk about our Knicks. And no matter what happens with this team, we are still Knicks fans. And when we hear the oven is on, you guys know what that means, right? That means we cooking. So shout out once again to my guy Phil for joining the show. Shout out to Sha. Shout out to Mets. Shout out to my guy Double A. Appreciate all you guys. Once again, I apologize to my brother, my guy Sam Grandison. I see, he was trying to get up here, but we couldn't get a link to him fast enough. Appreciate you, Sam, wherever you are. We will catch you on the next one, man. Once again, guys, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knicks fans, we'll be back again, whether it be on Saturdays for Know the Ledge at 11:30-ish. Mondays for SKF Weekly with my brother, it's me and my brother John, and hopefully in the near future, Jose on the 1s and 2s at 9 p.m. on Monday nights. And, if there is ever a moment where we do something throughout the week, whether it be on Nothing But Knicks, aren't Still Knicks fans, please tune in. As we get closer to the season, we're definitely going to get back into our regularly scheduled stuff. But right now, it's been a little bit of a downtime because things are quiet. But stay tuned. Yeah, man. Salute to George Jones. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Al, as always. APAP, thank you. Hey, my guy, Knicks Real Talk. Sean Mark. Oh, look at you speaking French too, being from Haiti. Nice. Mega, appreciate you, bro. Yeah, man. Thank you, guys. Thank everybody. It's great to see y'all once again, man. We're gonna do it, man. I'm excited. But yeah, let's see what they do today in the Summer League. Once again, 6 p.m. ESPN. Tune in, guys. All right. I think that's pretty much it. We out of here. Let's keep growing and glowing on our way to 3K, baby. Just make sure you know the ledge. I don't want to have to play this.
See if I know the ledge.
Oh, wait.
See if I know the ledge.
My mouse is acting a little funky right now. It's a little slow. Wonder if that's my internet connection. Either way. Yeah, so don't be jumping out that window, guys.
It's the camera, Ron. It's the camera.
The camera is like it's affecting everything, man. I'm telling you, it knows. It's going bye-bye soon. Anyway, all right, y'all. Take care. Have a great one.